I'll be right back. I'll be right back, people. Talk amongst yourselves. Hey, everybody. Happy weekend. Happy weekend. Let me see. Let me try to fix the moderation to all. Okay. Y'all just stare at Jen. Just look at, just focus on Jen. I'll be right back. I gotta get facial stuff. I gotta do my face. I gotta do what I gotta do. Ah! Ow! That should hurt. I don't really know what we doing. Yeah. Yeah. Oh! Oh, snap. Oh, snap. Oh, snap. 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 Talk amongst yourself. Hey, get it now, hey. There will be no singing here. I'm not allowed to sing. I'm not a singer. I suck. Let me try to fix the camera here a little bit before I get on camera. I'll be right back, y'all. Talk amongst yourselves. Talk amongst yourselves. I'm almost through. Kids, where you cooking? Oh, microwave popcorn. What? Right? That's nice. But I need you to find a dresser and a storage. I know, but I'll show you what kind of dresser. That's nice. I like the corner dress. That's my favorite. Yeah. It takes up less space. Yeah, I mean, the reason I like this is because it also has enough shelves. Yes, I like it. It's a nice color. Yeah, but it's not the same. I can't find this. Okay, well, honey, I need you to focus. I need you to find dresser and cabinet. Then we can move on to other things. I don't know. Are you taking your desk with you? I would suggest you do take your desk with you for now. And then when you want to get another one, you can trade it in. I mean, you can get rid of it, sell it, do whatever. Okay? You can sell it, you can trade it in. Not trade it in, but sell it to somebody or whatever. Okay, kids. Bye. Bye. Happy furniture hunting. Happy furniture hunting.
No.
Happy
Why don't
furniture.
you guys stop repeating lines and you're an NPC?
Happy furniture hunting.
Bye, twin.
Happy furniture hunting. Bye, twin. What you need, twin? What you need? Oh my God. I need a body to body.
What you need, twin?
Watch y'all talking about what you need, twin. I need. Oh, why does it seem so dark? Hello. Why is everything? Anyway, I'm back. What? Okay, let me try to turn the lightning up. What is with this lighting? Oh no, I didn't turn it off, y'all. Oh, okay, there we go. Maybe because it's daylight. It's daylight hours here. It's daylight hours. Come on, Wing. Come on, Wing. I gotta do my face. My face is itchy. You got your Audition albums? Albums? How many Audition albums did you have? Did you order? I haven't ordered any because I don't buy albums. I don't buy albums. This lighting is obnoxious. Hold on. Let me change the lighting on my phone. Y'all give me a minute. Oh my God. No, it is. It is dark. It's not dark here. It's like daylight here. I don't know. Anyway, you only have one? Marie Miller's back from Tampa Bay. Marie Miller,
was she went to the BTS concert in Tampa. She held up a sign that said, Yoongi, you can pet my kitty. I know that's what she did. I know you Marie Miller, you don't have to tell us. We already know. We already know your shady secrets. That's like the sign I would hold up. Yoongi, pet my kitty. That's some stuff I would do. This lighting is killing me. Again, I don't know, it's because of the background. Anyway, I'm just gonna let it be. I'm just going to let it go. You needed the posters in the car. You just checked out the sound check in El Paso. Tay looked like his aunt did it for him. Did you see the video? No, I have not. Tay looked like what? No, I said Yoongi married Kiki. Good looking out. I have not seen any video from El Paso. I'm dying to see it though. It's an interesting flavor, but I'm dying to see it. But then again, I've been trying to avoid all of the everything. So anyway, you guys welcome. My name's Kiki. My channel's Nomadic Kitty. He looked like his aunt. He looked like his aunt was on stage. What does that mean? Was his aunt on stage? No, I'm just kidding. What does that mean? Y'all gotta tell me. I'm trying to stay away too. I'm trying to not to watch the spoilers and everything like that because I'm trying not to be spoiled, y'all. But every week I'm like, well, let me just watch this one video and then another short will pop up and then another and another and another and another. Bro, I don't know. It's face doing today. I just got home not that long ago. Oh, so today has been a very long day, but I will not watch El Paso, but I will watch a little bit of it. He was always dressed like an old lady, so that's what that means. Girl, I was like, what that mean? He dressed like your auntie? You don't know if they... I don't want to know if they play surprise songs. I've heard about, them playing Pied Piper, so... I'm trying to see that I have my remote. I do have my remote. My TV's not on. I may have to get up and go. For the concert, y'all know there is controversy regarding what I'm wearing to this concert. Y'all know I've went through many outfits and that Jennifer has said no to all of them. And so right now I'm wearing hanbok. That's what I'm going to wear. Jennifer will let me wear hanbok. In the spirit of body to body, I'm going to be wearing hanbok. So there you go. There you go. Yes. I'm wearing hanbok. J-Hope went Urban Cowboy in El Paso. They always go cowboy or cow. They always go cowboy or cowgirl in Texas. Whenever they come to Texas, they always wear boots and hats and all kinds of stuff. But I plan to wear hanbok. I got to be in leather. I wish. Jennifer won't let me go. Jennifer, that is a good compromise, Marie Miller. That's a very good compromise. That Jennifer is like, she don't care if I wear hanbok. Leather, no. No. Jennifer, no. I can't be up here hooligan. Jennifer be like, no, we're not, no. Wait till Jennifer come on here. She'll tell you, she'll be like, no, I ain't going. So that's it. Hanbok it is. And Jennifer's like, all right, she gives her thumbs up. Her seal of approval. But anything else, I was like, I'm gonna wear a black cat outfit. She like, no. I'm like, I'm gonna wear a wedding dress. No. I'm gonna wear a veil. No. I'm gonna wear leather. No. I'm gonna wear lace. Nope. I'm gonna wear a cat suit. No. Jennifer's like, hell no. I was like, she's like, no. I'm like, damn. Tay likes the cheerleader look. Oh no. That wouldn't be me. So hanbok it is. I couldn't wear no cheerleader. Jennifer be like, no. Jennifer be like, ma'am, you are too old to be doing this. We not. She be like, let's not. Anyway, since we've gathered around, you seen a pic from a friend that is at the sound check with Hobie and Jay Doping? Will she let me hold up a sign that says Yoongi marry me? Possibly. She might. I think we've discussed this. I think she will. I don't know. I'm gonna say yes for now until she says otherwise. But she might come on here and she be like, no, I ain't had shit. Jennifer, no, she ain't gonna be all up in here. Yes, I got the new zero sugar Dr. Pepper, and my son doesn't like it, the creamy coconut. Mm. You got a purple skirt. See, I could wear like a purple outfit or purple dress, but anything other than it better be something. It better be something real tame, because Jennifer's gonna be like, I ain't going. I'll be like, oh boy. And I hate, like, I don't hate this weather, but I'm like not enjoying this weather. Like once it starts to get hot outside and I go work out and everything, then my skin goes all kinds of nuts. Like my skin is going crazy. Like like I like broke out and different. I hate it. I hate that I break out. I hate that like at my old ass age that I still have like skin. I still have to keep up like a very rigid skin regime because I still have breakouts and stuff. You can't taste nothing with Dr. Pepper zero sugar. I don't eat sugar, so Daphne says she gonna try on a few. Oh, she gonna take some pictures. All right, well let's see these pictures. Come on. Anyway, y'all, what are we gonna talk about today? Let's get into it. Get into it, yeah, get into it. We're gonna talk about my experience going to see the Michael movie. Me and Jennifer went to go see the Michael Jackson movie last week, and we had a really, really good time. And there are certain things that I'm going to save for my Patreon, which is I'm Nomadic Kitty on Patreon. There's certain things that I'm gonna have to save for my Patreon that I need to discuss and talk about that I won't talk about. But let's just say, the movie was not very heavy on content. It kind of overglossed a few things, or a lot of things, but it still was a good time. You got the BTS noodles, the Ari, yeah. And so the soda is too sweet. You think it's too sweet? Is it diet? Is it in diet? Because if it's not in diet, I can't. And I don't eat noodles. I don't eat pasta, y'all. I'm trying to think the last time I had some pasta. I don't know. It's been a couple of years. Pasta do kind of sound good. You know, I was supposed to get barbecue today, but we were pressed for time. But oh, Audi is sugar free. Okay, I have not seen it in like people saying it's in Walmart. It is not in my Walmart. Like I looked today. It's the Audi is not in my Walmart. So I know people have been showing it online and then they bought it at Walmart, but it's not in my Walmart. But then again, I live in like in the middle of Podunkia in Texas. So maybe because I'm in a smaller market that there is a not there, maybe they just decided to roll it out in specific Walmarts, but it's not in my Walmart. I looked today. So nope. Oh, it's only online. Oh, okay. Well then no. I definitely don't. I have to go look and see. You have to buy it online, huh? Interesting. Ah, my face is like burning. My face is on fire. I had to put this stuff on my face. Like I have so many like this is prescription and it doesn't work, but I have heavier stuff, but I'm trying to stay away from the heavy stuff because my face feels like my flesh is crawling and it feel like it's on fire. But I'm just letting you know right now. So if you see me like rubbing my face, it's because my face feels like it's on fire. Woo, woo, woo. Fire. Yeah, y'all remember that song. But anyway, we're going to talk about the Michael Jackson thing. I don't know if you guys know who Beomhan is. Do y'all know who Beomhan is? I heard of him long time ago, like 2 years ago, like when I was first getting into K-pop. I know who he is just because he came out with this dank music video that everybody made fun of. He's a trainee through like FM Entertainment. That's a thing. So is it hot outside? Yes. Today was 70 something degrees. Not too bad. But the other days it's been like in the 80s and the 90s this week. So if you guys know who Beomhan is, again, he's a trainee. He has a YouTube channel. He's on social media. He has not made it to a group. Like he's not in a group. Shelly. Okay, so he was a trainee. He was on one of these survival shows, okay? So he became famous even before, from what I know, before the survival show. So he is in a bit of a kerfluffle because some things have came out about him lately that people are upset about. And so he has quite a bit of following. Like I think he has over 400,000 followers on social media. He still does festivals. He's not in a group or anything like that. But we're going to talk about him. But what I'm going to talk about has to do with a bigger story because supposedly some ex-girlfriend girl is messy. Some girl he was dating, ex-girlfriend or whatever, has come out and said that like he treated her bad and he cheated on her and a bunch of stuff, and we're gonna talk about it. But it's not really about him. This is about the bigger picture about K-pop as a whole. Because I was watching Burning Suns. We're gonna talk about Burning Sun tonight. I forgot to put that in my title that we're gonna talk a little bit about Burning Sun. Because I went and watched another documentary. I've watched 7 or 8 different documentaries about Burning Sun. Because I still have not done my Burning Sun video, but one day I'm going to get around and doing a deep dive, in my opinions, about what happened with Burning Sun. If you do not know what happened with Burning Sun, oh my God, okay, I suggest you look it up. It may not be not safe for work, but tonight, yes, we're going to talk about the burning of the suns tonight. I'm going to touch on a little bit of it because this Beomhan thing and Burning Sun all kind of like linked together. I mean, he wasn't a part of Burning Sun. I'm not accusing him. He's a young guy. So he would constantly get in trouble during live chats. Yes, she. Is he from the 80s? No, Beomhan is like 23 years old. He's a young guy. He was on a survival show in 2021. 2021, he was on a survival show. But he didn't make the cut to the group. And then he's had some controversies. But his story is not tied to Burning Sun, but it's the same types of narratives and things. And then, of course, we're going to do BTS updates. I have so many BTS updates that I have notes. There's so many things that went on this week that I do not understand. I have made so many rage-filled videos this weekend. Y'all pray for me. Y'all pray to the K-pop gods and goddesses because I've made so many angst, rage-filled videos in the past couple of days coming out this week. I'm just angsty and rage-filled. I had to calm down because, you loving BTS, love BTS, Lisa. But yes, Beomhan is a story. So let's talk about a few things first. Let's do a quick hits. First of all, Big Bang, if you guys have Big Bang, speaking of Burning Sun, no shade. Big Bang is coming out with a new album. They're going on tour. I think I posted a post, not a video, post about that. They announced that they're going to reopen their VIP recruitment. I don't know what that means. Maybe you guys can tell me what that means. So what does it mean? Hello, Army. Hello. Let's make a prayer circle. Child, we're going to need all the prayer warriors today because this whole comeback has had me just mad from the beginning all the way up to today. But anyway, so Big Bang is coming back and they're doing a VIP fan recruitment. I don't know what exactly that means. They're supposed to release more information on they have like a website or social media sites about their upcoming tour and their new album that's coming out. I am very excited, y'all. Y'all know I'm a low-key VIP, even though there's no TOP, but that's fine. That's fine. I mean, it's not fine, but it's good. It's great. I talked about Big Bang performing at Coachella and everything that went on with that. I will emphasize again, and I'll say it again. If you guys don't know the story of G-Dragon, please go and get the story of G-Dragon. Let me go ahead and change the lighting. Hold on, y'all. Hold on. Okay, let me switch up the lighting a little bit. Let me raise something. There we go. If I just felt like I was being bathed by a heavenly light. I was like, felt like the angels was calling for me. I was like, angels is calling. I felt like there was a ray of light, and I was like, I'm not ready yet. MFers, I'm not. You can't take me yet, motherfuckers. I'm not ready. The Burning Sun ruined you as a VIP. I understand. Y'all are laughing. Their fan name is VIP, so they're having a recruitment. Again, I don't know. I was like, is there like an initiation? Do I have to work out or something? Do I gotta do enough sit-ups and push-ups? Do I have to twerk for something? And then they come on, you in. I'm like, do I gotta show some special skills to be allowed in the VIP? Do I gotta buy a membership? Most likely it's going to be something to where we're going to have to buy a membership or we're going to have to buy something. I'm telling you, because that's kind of how it works. So y'all get ready for that. Also, if y'all didn't know, Daddy YG stepped off the board of the Black Label. Like Daddy YG was on the board. I can tell y'all Daddy YG. So Daddy YG, the former head, the founder YG, the man, the myth, The legend. I know some of y'all right now. Calm down. Calm down. I know y'all. Some of y'all like YG. This mother here. Like I know some of y'all don't like this man. I know a lot of y'all don't like him, and I understand. But Daddy YG, he was on the board of Black Label. He has actually stepped down. Now there has been some talk and some chatter as to why he stepped down. But he said I guess he need to concentrate on his own damn company. I don't know, but yes, Daddy YG has stepped down off the board of the Black Label. And apparently the Black Label are having some executive shuffling. Someone said, I'm glad he's gone. Did Teddy do something? I don't know, but come on, get your plastic shorts out. That's JYP. Leave my daddy alone. But yes, yes, you will fall down the rabbit hole. Yes. But yes, Daddy YG, I know y'all can't stand him, but he is off the Black. He has nothing to do with the Black Label anymore. Speaking of YG, Daddy YG announced this week that he has a boy group and a girl group, that he is trying to find the next Blackpink, that he is trying to find the next Treasure. Okay. All right, Daddy. I'm just letting y'all know. And this girl group, they've been talking about this girl group. I started talking about this girl group back in early 2025. This girl group was supposed to debut last June. And I went back and looked because I was like, am I tripping? No, I'm not tripping. This girl group was supposed to debut last year. They've been trainees since 2024. One of the members of the girl group, she started when she was 13 years old. So she's literally a 15-year-old. One of the girls, I think she's from Thailand. One of the girls, the Korean, and they still haven't announced how many people gonna be in it. But they said it's supposed to be 4 girls in this group. 4 girls. That's why all the Blinks was mad. Shelling P trying to find the next Jenny for what? He needs somebody else to cheat on with his wife. He needs somebody to cheat. He needs somebody to be with, to cheat on his wife with. What time is it? What's up? Wait, what time? Okay, anyway. Let me stop being messy. Anyway. Let me stop being messy. Oh, let me stop being. I'm being messy tonight, y'all. I take it back, Jenny. I'm sorry. That's a vicious net. Girl. Okay. Whew. Yeah, we're gonna talk about we're gonna talk about it. We're gonna talk about Island 2. Daddy wife looking for his future wife. He looking for his next mistress. You told no, Shelly P. You said is Daddy YG looking for the next Jenny? I said, yeah, possibly. He looking for another chick to sleep with. Who, you know, the cheat on. He looking for another mistress. Go ahead now. Come on now. I'm done. Let me stop there. Can 4 girls carry a concert? I don't think so. It's going to be hard for them. Daddy YG needs them young. Yes, he do. He like them young. But what I was saying is Blackpink done? Blackpink is done. Blackpink is done. Put a fork in them. They done. Lisa got her residency in Las Vegas. Jenny is doing festivals. She's booked this summer, doing festival solo stuff. Jisoo is dodging accusations. Jisoo up here ducking and dodging accusations about her brother and trying to sue folks. But she gonna do her acting thing. Rose, I don't know what Rose is doing. Nobody really knows. Rose just been laying low. Rose need a break because she's been out there, girl. Yeah, okay. What I have to say is that allegedly, again, this is not my feelings or how I feel or my opinions. Okay, these are not the opinions of my show. There is rumors going around that has been going around for quite a while now regarding Daddy YG and Jenny. There has been rumors that have gone around for quite a while. I don't know if you guys have heard the rumors, but I have heard the rumors about Daddy YG and Jenny. So that's why I said that he's looking for a new mistress. Oh, let me stop. But yes, that is one of the rumors that have been out there off and on for years. that again, I don't know if it's true, but that's what they be saying out here in the streets. Anyway, so yeah, I don't think Blackpink have broken up like that. But I think, like, not officially, they're an unofficial hiatus breakup, you know. And talking about everybody been linked to Jenny. Baby Kai, G Dragon, Daddy YG, not they talking about the Woods guy, the Woods. V, Woods, everybody. Again, I'm not mad at Jenny. If I looked like Jenny and I had that much money and I had that much clout, baby, there would be a laundry list of K-pop singers I would be linked to. Now, we all know that Jenny, there, you know, I don't understand, you know, what the magic sauce is for Jenny there, but, you know, I'm not mad at her. But yeah, she's been linked to quite a few people, and whether it's true or not, I don't know. But that's one of the rumors out there. You ain't never heard it until tonight. Oh, shit. Y'all didn't. Y'all didn't hear it from me. I didn't say it. Y'all be like, wait a minute, I ain't never heard that. I'm like, well, I've heard it. Shit, I've heard it quite a few times. That Daddy YG, yeah. Yeah, anyway, but yes, Daddy YG is trying to find the next Blackpink or the next 21. I don't know, let's keep going back. I don't know how far we're going to go back on this. And then he's trying to find the next treasure, you know. He's trying to find the next boy group or the next BTS. They don't want to say BTS, but you know, that's what he's trying to say. So they're having auditions. And again, from what I hear, a lot of these trainees are young. And speaking of auditions, SM is having auditions as well. I posted like 3 or 4 weeks ago that SM is having auditions as well. And they're looking for young people. The SM is looking for 12-year-olds all the way up to 21-year-olds. So I don't know if y'all know some 12-year-olds that can sing and dance and that are in top. And SM is having worldwide auditions, honey. SM is trying to find them all over. So they're asking anybody to audition. Send in your audition tape to SM, y'all. I don't know if the auditions have already started or when they start, but yes, SM is looking for boy and girl group talent. Also, Isuman. Okay, y'all know Isuman coming back this fall. Y'all know Isuman got his own agency. He is having auditions as well this summer, starting at the end of May. He is having auditions for a boy and girl group as well. So during the summertime, there's a lot of, besides concerts and tours, this is auditioning time. So a lot of the kids are out of school and or out of college. And so this is the time for people to start going to performing arts classes during the summer, and a lot of auditions are happening. So that's just letting y'all know that a lot of auditioning is happening out there, and they are asking for 12-year-olds, you know. Jenny I feel sorry for her. I do. I love Jenny. To me, what y'all define as toxicity is just, if Jenny want to date, she want to date. You know, I don't have no problem with Jenny hitting up Daddy YG. I don't have any problem with that at all. Yeah, Isuman is coming, y'all. I know that some of y'all, look, before y'all get to be mad in my comment section, I know some of y'all are like, Isuman. I know y'all don't like him either. Oh my God, I know Isuman tried to sabotage Bang PD. I understand why y'all upset. But Isuman is coming back. His no-compete clause has ended. It'll end this fall. So he is coming back with a vengeance because he said he is still not done with K-pop with his old ass. Isuman may say he may be 95 years old, but he said he still got something left. This live stream is going off the rails already. Y'all done got me up here calling Isuman an old ass. Y'all, he not 90. Isuman, how old is he? Isuman is like in his 70s, right? Y'all I'm not trying to be disrespectful. I respect Isuman and I respect Daddy YG, and I don't respect what they've done. Yes, and Minhee Jin is still out here doing auditions too. Oh. I have not seen the music video Red Red by Cortis, but I have heard the song, but I haven't watched the music video yet. I think the song Red Red is more authentically Cortis than what they did before, but it's not my kind of music. Red is just okay for me. It's not my kind of music, but I do think it's more authentic to them. Isuman so bang, he said some shit right. He needs to be in a Where's my pillow? Let me get my pillow. I'm gonna need my pillow tonight. I'm gonna need. Y'all talking about he need. Lisa said he need to be in a retirement home. She said Isuman need to go sit down somewhere. Oh my God, y'all got me dying already. Talking about he need to be in a retirement home. Y'all leave Isuman alone. He's still spry and kicking. Oh, don't watch the music video. Watch the conception video instead. Okay, I will watch both. I need to be in a retire. Y'all don't do Isuman like that. That man is a legend. And we wouldn't have K-pop with if it wasn't out him. I give him his respect, but I want to see what he's gonna do. I'm really interested to see what he's gonna do. I'm trying to think what else is going on in the industry that they announced that is not BTS related. I'm trying to think, is there any other quick hits? Anything else regarding YG, SMJYP? Nope. Oh, if I'm going to post it soon, but I don't know if you guys are familiar with Hyolyn. I like her. She used to be part of a group called Sistar, and she has had a myriad of health issues. She went on Instagram and did some pictures, and I didn't see the pictures because I'm not on social media, but I did see the story talking about her, and her appearance. Like, Hyolyn has always been very tanned, very fit. Hyolyn is a very fit, gorgeous woman. Okay, I love her music. Matter of fact, one of the people that write and produce her music is a Black woman. It's a producer. I forgot her name, but they've worked together off and on for years now. And Hyolyn just released the pictures, and I was in shock at her appearance. Her appearance is shocking. She went from being fit, and her face is, her cheeks are kind of chubby. And I saw a picture of her recently, and I'm like, she has had a myriad of health issues. She hasn't came out and said anything. But what is happening right now in the industry is that really stick thin is becoming a thing now. Like, even in Hollywood here in America, that she is so stick thin that yes, she's fire. She's a beautiful, talented young lady. She is so skinny that it looks frightening. Her face don't even look like her face anymore. Like, so they were talking about, I did a post about Triple S. Triple S is a girl group as well. There's a member of Triple S called, I think her name is Chaewon or something like that. But she is on stage, like, literally emaciated, like thick, like emaciated, like arms this thick, like skinny. So people are afraid. People have been talking about lately in the industry that this is the type of thing that's going on around. Yes, yeah, are being called sexy, right? There is nothing, to me, not to body shame anybody, there is nothing, in my opinion, cute or sexy about a woman that has no curves. And then, like I said, to be a woman and to be this thin is more than just damaging, but it's also damaging to your internal organs, your hormones. You get that thin, you will stop having a period. You get that thin, your hair will start falling out. You get that thin, like, it wreaks havoc on a woman. I've talked about it before, on a woman's body. I have a friend that when I worked with her, she was suffering from anorexia and bulimia. And to see her teeth right out of her mouth, to see the things that I saw, to her shrivel down to nothing, her skin flaking off, like, being malnourished is not cute, it's not funny, it's not sexy. There's nothing for it. Being a man that's skinny and thin is one thing, but being a woman, it wreaks havoc on you in so many ways. It can mess with your fertility. I told y'all before, when I talked about this last weekend, we talked about how many female singers in K-pop, how many actresses in K-pop that have had numerous fertility issues. And again, I can't prove it, but I think it's because of years of the yo-yo dieting and years of starvation and malnutrition, it affects your fertility as well. And so a lot of women who are in the entertainment industry in Korea have all kinds of fertility issues, miscarriages, infertility, problem producing eggs. Like there's a lot of IVF in South Korea. I've talked about this before amongst the rich and the famous people. Because again, being sickly thin wreaks havoc on your brain. Like people will, what do they call it? Like there's a term for it. When people don't eat and their brain gets in a brain fog. There's a term that they use for it. I forgot the term, but I forgot what they call it. And so now with the sudden advent of Ozempic and stuff like that, like in South Korea, I tell you all the time, people are on the low using all kinds of injections, all kinds of Ozempics, all kinds of whatever you want, GLP, whatever, to not eat. Like this is going rampant. Like it's like rampant now. And so you have people like I also talked about on my Patreon about IU, about her talking about her eating habits, how she eats porridge at night. Like there's a mixture of like rice water, and like oatmeal. Like basically she's eating like gruel, or we would determine like gruel, like what peasants ate in like the 1600s. Like them motherfuckers were eating gruel. Like IU was really going through her diet about she eats two or three bites of this, 2 or 3 bites of that. And then if she really get hungry, she takes this gruel, like this porridge mixture to keep her full. That's dense in calories, a lot of water, a lot of starches to keep her full, especially if she's doing shoots and, and she's up late. And I'm just like, okay, so why? I'm like, why in the hell is this in an article? I'm just like, okay. I said IU, and I love IU to death. I said, it sounds like an eating disorder to me. I'm sorry. But eating porridge at night before you go to bed to keep you full for a day, and eating 2 bites of rice and a half apple, I'm like, bitch, that sounds like you have an eating disorder. Okay, that's what IU said. She is literally, bitch, 98 pounds. What? She's 98 pounds? I'm like, huh? 98 pounds? What is that? Child, kids weigh that much, okay? Like 8-year-olds weigh that much. Yeah, that's sending the wrong message. And I'm just like, what is happening? They do, yes. And then, like I tell people, that's cool when you're young. But then what happens to a lot of Koreans, especially particular in Korean women that have been in the industry, because they've starved themselves from such an early age. By the time they hit about 60 years old, it catches up with them. Boom. They start looking older. Boom. They start looking real old. Like it all accelerates to about 60, 65. You'll see Korean women that their age process will catch up with them. Because your body can no longer sustain, unless they are out doing lots of plastic surgery and lots of things. You will see that once they start slowing down in the industry and they get about around 60, 70 years old, then they start looking really, really old. They start looking like, you're like, oh, like damn. You'll see somebody at 50 and then 60, it'd be like 2 different people. Like, because their body has aged so quickly because of the malnutrition. Like as your metabolism breaks down, the older you get, your body can't keep up that pace. So yes, the older you get, the slower your metabolism gets, the aging process, and then if you're not keeping yourself in a good health, it catches up with them real quick. So you'll see a lot of Korean women that are like in their 60s, and you're like, damn, what happened? Like, damn, like 20 years ago, they was looking like they was 22 years old. And then you see them like 60 and you're like, is that the same? That's the same actress? Like, wow. Like I forgot what actress I saw. And I saw pictures of her, like she was 45, 50, and then she's like 60 something now. And I'm like, girl, that don't even look like the same person no more. Because all of the fillers and all of the surgeries, your elasticity in your skin starts to sag. And then your metabolism slows down to a crawl. And all of that shit catches up with you. All of the starvation, all of the lack of hormones, all of the lack of estrogen. That catches, by the time you hit about 60, you start looking like you about 80 years old. You really start looking like an old Ajuma. Like you start looking really, really old. And so having all of these plastic surgeries and all these things and doing these yo-yo dieting, I understand that this is just par for the course for the industry. But I am just amazed that these women, I hope nobody loses their life out here doing this. And then may I add, let me add, the idea of plastic surgery and starvation is not Korean culture. I have to say it, let me say it again for the BTS members in the back. Starvation, plastic surgery, emaciation, and the glamorization of plastic surgery and being thinness is not germane to Korean history and to Korean culture. If you study Korean history, this is something that came around in the early 1990s. This is not something that's always been. If you go back, and I told people all the time, go on YouTube right now and look at Koreans in the 80s. There are videos of Koreans in the 80s. Koreans in the 80s, they have tan skin. Koreans in the 80s, they weren't as emaciated. Koreans in the 80s didn't look like they do now. This is something that's new. I watched the whole video. I watched a whole 3-hour documentary where a Korean guy was talking about like the history of the plastic surgery industry, the history of the idol industry, and how all of this stuff that people uphold is new. You go back and look at videos of Koreans in the 80s and 70s and 80s, they didn't look like that. Koreans are not naturally pale and thin. They're just not. They're not. There's nothing natural about this shit. Everybody in Korea is on a diet, especially in Seoul. They're all on a diet. So there's nothing natural about this. There's nothing natural. There's nothing cultural about this. This is something new. This is not something that's, well, Koreans have all, like, no, Koreans have not. So people try to sit there and tell people, especially Westerners who don't know. And I'm like, no, I challenge everybody. I'm like, that's not cultural. I'm like, no, it's not. It's not. A little bit of it is. But I'm like, no, Koreans ain't always looked like this. This new. Koreans ain't always been that pale. Koreans are not more naturally paler than any other Asian people out there. They're not. They're naturally not. They're not. But then try to pass it off like, well, Koreans, I'm like, no, they're not. In the 70s and 80s, Koreans look like everybody else. And you will see the contrast and you're like, whoa, what the hell? Are those Koreans in the 80s? Yeah. You're like, okay. Yeah. No different than any other Japanese, Chinese, Southeast Asian. They come in different hues. Back in the 70s and 80s, they were different shades of skin tone. They would be out in the sun. Some of them are not out in the sun. There was not this serious emphasis on skin tone and skin color, and like everybody's skinny. That's not realistic. That's not a cultural thing to Korea. They invented, this has been invented over the years. So they revamped their whole entire image as a people. And so no, Koreans are not more paler than Chinese or Japanese people. It's just not a thing. You can't alter your whole DNA in just a couple of generations. It's like everybody, you go out in the sun, we're going to tan. Like Asians get out in the sun, they're going to tan. Like that's just human. Like we all have different levels of melanin in our skin. It's just humans. Like we all have different levels. But if you go out in the sun long enough, you're going to tan. Like Asian people tan. There used to be tan Asian people, y'all. Yes, Koreans are pretty dark. Yes, like Southern Chinese are pretty dark. Thank you. They are the same ilk. They're the same kind of people. They have almost the same lineage in the history of the Southern Chinese. But let them tell it, they just naturally pale and thin. I'm like, no, y'all know, you guys are really not. You guys are no more paler than anybody else. So this whole colorism and skin tone thing in Asia just cracks me up because I'm like, it shouldn't be an argument when I'm like, y'all are just kind of the same skin. We're all human beings. We all crisp up in the sun like everybody else do. Like you get out in the sun, Asians tan. But they wear lots of skin cream, lots of sunblock, lots of makeup and stuff, especially in Seoul, to make their skin look. They use lots of light. I could do a whole video talking about the lighting tricks and the makeup tricks in South Korea. The lighting that they use. Do y'all know, I've talked about it before, that when they do these music bank shows and they do these TV shows, do y'all know that in Korea, they kind of invented their own lighting? That's something that nobody ever talks about. When you go to Korea, a lot of the American actors and actresses who get interviewed in Korea, the first thing they notice is the highly phosphorus, bright ass, like the same, like the ring light that I have. In Korea, whenever they're filming these TV shows and variety shows, they use a highly reflective phosphorus light that is very white. And then people from other countries are like, damn, that's a bright ass light. That's something that doesn't really get talked about. But again, because I know people in the industry, they're like, oh, they use these kind of lights. And I was like, what kind of lights is that? They use lighting that we don't really use here in the West. So everybody looks bright, white as hell. White as hell on these TV shows and these movies. When you see them in person, you're like, okay, wait, what? Because even on the TV shows, the refractive lights that they use is something that hasn't been used in Hollywood since we had like black and white films. But yes, they use these highly bright ass lights to make the actors kind of have like this white glow to them that doesn't get talked about. So a lot of this stuff that you see is a lot of tricks and stuff with photography. It's a lot of camera angles and tricks. And then when you see the idols in person, when I go to K-pop concerts, I notice I'm like, they got a lot of makeup on. They have a lot. You can visibly see the line of makeup and visibly see the difference between their hand color and their face color. I've noticed that by going to K-pop concerts and sitting in like the first 5 rows, you get to see up front the difference between their arms and their face shade and their neck and their face shade, because they use lots of thick ass fucking makeup that we don't even use here. Like, yeah, Zuyu or Twice. Yeah, she's pretty dark. Yeah. They are. Yeah, lighting is everything, honey. Hey, Girl Dad Cooking Up Deliciousness. Y'all go check out his YouTube channel. I love his YouTube channel. He's cooking it up. He always comes here and support me. So, Girl Dad Cooking Up Deliciousness. Y'all go subscribe to his channel and check it out. He be cooking up some good food that be making me want to ruin my damn diet. But anyway. But yes, lighting is everything when it comes to skin tone. And like I said, I took photography in college. So it was kind of like, I was in law school, but it was kind of like my side piece was photography and lighting. And I understand that for Black people, for the longest time in America, people who have darker melanin, it was hard for Hollywood to really accurately light our skin tones whenever color came into the movie industry. That's another little tidbit, that really a lot of hues, like Black people do good with lighting that has like a black hues, like lighting dark colored skin is different than lighting people with light colored skin. It's part of the movie industry. And for the longest time, Black people would appear on screen and our skins would be whitewashed out. Our skins would be too dark. Our skin would, if you go back and look at them old movies, like a lot of it didn't, like Black people, it looked not natural because they hadn't developed how to really properly light Black people. And it's the same thing that goes on today. Like the way the light hits our skin is just different because of our melanin. And so blues are good. Reds are problematic for us. Greens are not good. Bright lights, just depends on your skin tone. I could go on and on. But yes, in South Korea, the lighting is everything to them. So they're not always that naturally light. And so being thin and being light, bright, nearly white, like fluorescent, is a thing that's coming back. And I'm afraid that we're getting into a territory where being stick thin and emaciated is kind of becoming like the in thing in Hollywood. People have talked about this in Hollywood. Some of you guys probably all know people have talked about this in Hollywood. People have talked about people using GLP and Ozempic. Now, I can say for a fact that I used Ozempic for about 8 months, which is something that probably you guys didn't know. But Ozempic, for me, who has gastrointestinal problems, fucked me up. Okay, I'm just gonna let y'all know. If you were thinking about using Ozempic, ask me. I've used it, but Ozempic messed me up. Like gastrointestinal, it slows down your digestive system, and for somebody that are missing pieces of my digestive system, it wreaked havoc on my digestive system, and I stopped using it. But yes, I would inject myself once a day with Ozempic, and I used Ozempic in its early years. I started using Ozempic years ago, and I got off it. So just in case you know, but that's what's going around K-pop circles and in the industry now is a heavy use of Ozempic. And so, there you go. They start having that face. Oh, my background pictures look good. Oh yeah, this is the BTS picture that I absolutely positively love this picture. Because how do you solve that when there are white people in photographs then because of the lighting? It's hard to solve that. But what's going on in the industry now, I'm just scared that we're getting him back to like the 90s. Again, I lived through the 90s. Now, we need to have a conversation. Now, I know some of y'all are older. I lived through the 90s, okay? I don't know about anybody else's experiences. But for me, for those of us girls who lived through the 90s, we lived through an era where there was no body positivity. We lived through an era where everything that was skinny and blonde was cool. If you were not skinny and blonde in the 90s, you were not cute. Guys didn't even want to fuck with you unless you looked like Britney Spears or Christina Aguilera. We lived in a decade where now what would be considered fat would be considered normal. Like, y'all remember when Britney Spears got up there with her little bikini outfit on and she sang and everybody made fun of her because they thought she was fat. They called her a muffin top. Y'all remember that. Some of y'all remember that. They dogged Britney. They talked about Britney like she was a dog because she got up there with this bikini top. You go back and watch that video. I did a couple of months ago. I said, let me go watch that Britney performance. She was at an awards show and they talked about Britney like she was a damn dog. They said, oh, she fat. All you heard was Britney was fat. Go back and watch that video. That is how messed up things were back in the day. Britney is not fat. There's nothing fat on her. Standing up there wearing them black shorts and that black outfit, there was nothing fat about Britney. There's nothing. She had just had an effing baby, y'all. Britney had just had a baby. Okay? Go back and watch that video. I gagged. I went back and watched the video a couple months ago and I'm like, this is not the video where they called her fat. And I looked it up and I said, oh, this is the video. There was nothing fat about Britney. She had just had a baby. They called her, I remember they dogged her. I felt so bad for her. Yes, they called her muffin top. Muffin top, if you guys don't know the American term, is when you have like a fat pouch above your belt or your waistline, and they call it a muffin top, like the top of a muffin. This is why Karen Carpenter, the 2007 VMAs. Go back and watch that video. There's nothing fat about Britney. She had just had a baby. And you watch that and I'm like, that's what they call fat? Oh, okay. So you understand the toxicity that was back in the 90s and the 2000s. It was horrible. None of us fat girls, even those, when I go back and look at the pictures of myself and my friends, there was nothing fat about me back in the day. I wasn't like some huge, but we were made to feel that way. This is the time when heroin chic was in. Y'all remember Kate Moss? How skinny Kate Moss was? You remember there were so many cases of anorexia and bulimia back in the day because everybody wanted to be Britney Spears thin. Kate Moss was real popular. All the supermodels were really, really emaciated thin. What is old is new again. We're getting into this time again where heroin chic is cool now. Like being stick thin in K-pop, like it wasn't to the point where we had some semblance of normalcy. But now I feel like a lot of us feel like we're dipping back into the decades. Like if you sit there and look at Ariana Grande and all that, like the people on the red carpet, you see how skinny is it. What about this thing they call thick? Thick was cute a long time ago. But now it's getting to the point where thin is in now. And Christina Aguilera, they dogged her bad. They said she was fat, so we're getting back into the 90s and the 2000s where unless you are stick thin and blonde, that nobody will consider you attractive. And we've come so far away from that. I was so proud to see plus size models get a chance because back in the day, you couldn't even be a plus size model. Like back in the day, plus size was anything over like a size 9. Like that's how crazy things had gotten, how far the pendulum has swung. Anything over a size 9 was plus size. There are plenty of entertainers and artists that could not make it in the music industry, that could not make it in the acting industry because they were deemed they didn't have the right look, i.e., they was fat. Okay, they was too fat, they was too ethnic, they was too black, they was too Asian, whatever. Now we're getting back, and then we swung the pendulum to where you see TV shows and commercials with normal size women who are size 10, which is 10 is not thick, women who are size 11 and 12, normal. Now we're getting to the point where it's back to people being anorexia is thin, and that's kind of like the cool thing. And then people have done videos about this on YouTube as to why. Yes, Lindsay Lohan, Nicole Richie, yeah. There was, in Paris Hilton, were skinny. Christina was bullied, yeah. Yeah, Hillary Duff, she was skeleton. And so now, yes, even if you were skinny with a large chest, yeah, you had to be Goldwyn James. Let me add that in there. This is a good point. You had to be flat as a fucking board. No hips, no ass, no breasts, and built like a little boy. Like Twiggy. Like Kate Moss was skinny. No boobs, no hips, nothing. That was, which to me is unnatural for us as women. Like it's not natural. It's not natural for us hormonally. It's just not natural for us. There are women who are naturally stick thin with not a lot of curves and boobs, then that's fine. But a lot of women out there, okay, we have boobs, we have hips, and that's kind of natural to the estrogen and the birthing process, how we develop as women and through our puberty. There are a lot of women out there that were starving themselves so bad that they weren't having periods. It was a whole thing back then. There's a lot of people that was running around with eating disorders. And it was sad. And now I feel like in K-pop, we're getting back to going down that road again. Where, and even, like I said, not even just K-pop, but even in Hollywood. You see it in Hollywood now. You look at the runways, and you look at the movie premieres and the events, and you will start to see, you're like, okay, like what? They were talking about Ariana Grande. I don't know what the hell happened to her. Like, she used to be a normal weight. They talking about Cynthia Erivo, how she is like a emaciated skeleton. Like, what? Even gymnastics they had to look like men. They can't have no boobs and Lisa, I could go on and on about the whole gymnastics thing because I had a friend that was into gymnastics too. You know, talking about Mean Girls, Lindsay Lohan. Yeah, Lindsay Lohan used to be so pretty, and now you see these women, these Hollywood actresses, and their faces like they're running around with like gaunt faces and sunken in skin, and then they look like they're about 90 years old, and I'm like, oh Lord. They call it like the Ozempic face or whatever. They all look sick, yeah. Yeah, Ariana Grande is so skinny. I saw Ozzy Osbourne's daughter, what's her name? Kelly Osbourne. I almost died. Like, I almost threw up. Like, I was like, who is that? Because I was barely watching TV, and they was talking about Kelly Osbourne. And I was like, I didn't even recognize her. She looked like I ain't trying to talk bad about her. She looked like some 60-year-old witch. Like, her face was all sunk in. Yeah, they call it Ozempic face. You think she's legitimately sick? There's something. Because her and Sharon, that's frightening. That I don't know. I hope she is sick. I mean, nothing bad happened to her. But that was frightening. Like, I saw her face and I was like, who is this old lady? I'm like, who's that? Oh, because of her dad died? Maybe so. But there's something wrong with her. Like, somebody need to, like, do something. She needs some help. Because Kelly Osbourne, I'm like, that's Kelly Osbourne? I'm like, I said, no. Like, I thought they was joking. I said, that's not her. I said, that's some other lady. And I looked at the picture and I said, oh, fuck. I'm like, holy shit. You know, that's the reason why you never cared about skinny. Yeah. That's true. But it's hard to have self-worth when people telling you shouldn't. I mean, when I was younger, even as an adult, I've always struggled with my weight. I've always struggled with my looks. I think now it's to the point where in my life that it took me all these years to be happy just being me. I don't care. I don't give a shit no more. So it took me all these years for me not to care. But when I was younger, I was bullied. I was just not even just but just ignored. Like I was blatantly just ignored. Like I went through many years where I never thought myself being attractive or worthy or anything like that. I mean, I think as women, all of us people, even not just women, we've gone through these bouts of self-doubt about our looks. So we've had people tell us certain things that you're not. But again, for us to grow up during the 90s, in our teenage years, it was very damaging to not fit in that mold. It was very damaging to grow up and be in social circles where you were told that you're too fat, you're not attractive, that your type is not attractive. And so that can be very psychologically damaging throughout your entire life. And unless you have something to counter that, like you have parents or family or friends or somebody to really instill a sense of self-worth in you, then you will fall through the cracks and down the wayside. I didn't have anybody telling me, Kiki, you're intelligent and you're attractive and you're kind. And I didn't have all that. I had to dig deep and pep talk my damn self because I didn't have anybody in my life to be like, well, you're worthy and da da da. And so what my life did is went through a path of self-destruction. And so, and then like I said, I can't blame myself because I didn't know, I wasn't taught any better. I wasn't taught that, okay, you don't have to bend and break and twist yourself into knots and make yourself seem small in order to be accepted by men, because I figured out early on, okay, in order to be liked or accepted by men, I have to bend and break and bow and do things. Now I don't bend and break for nobody. Now I'll be like, I don't care. But it took me a long time to get there. And I just feel like we're getting to the point where we have to really watch our girls now, because the things that they see on social media is so prevalent. And the things that they see on social media is not particularly slipping into the point where it's not body positive anymore, slipping into the point where it's starting to be a lot of toxicity. But it is hard, just being a woman, period. But if you don't have support and a level of self-esteem, you will get into self-destruction. And I've headed into self-destruction quite I don't wear any makeup. I don't wear any makeup because my skin, I've never been into makeup because my skin is so sensitive. It's so sensitive. But I tell my kid, like I try to tell my daughter all the time, one of the reasons why people think I look younger and I haven't really aged that harshly is because I don't wear makeup. So when you wear a lot of makeup, it gets into your pores and it'll cause wrinkles and it will age you. And because I don't wear a lot of makeup, because when I do wear makeup, I break out. And so I don't like breaking out. It just unnerves me. So I just don't wear it. Now I may wear it on special occasions, but I don't go to enough special occasions. But no, I don't wear makeup. Even when I do my YouTube videos, I don't wear makeup. Like I don't do makeup because, and then I live in Texas where it's hot. And so you start sweating and then it's just a recipe for a disaster. So I tell people like, well, how do you stay looking so young? I said, number one is genetics. Number two, I have a skincare routine that has been the same has changed throughout the years, but I've been very dogmatic about my skincare routine since I was 14. And so I've always taken care of my skin. I always cleanse my skin twice a day. And then on top of that, I don't wear makeup. And then when I do wear makeup, it looks good. And then I don't even know how to do makeup that well. I think my 12-year-old knows how to do makeup better than I do. But it gets into my pores and like my skin just flares up and it's like I'm breaking out. During the summertime, I break out anyway. Like I'm broke out now and I'm angry. So I get all agitated. I'm just like, ugh. So with makeup, it just makes my skin even more inflamed. And then I'll start breaking out like all over my chin and my nose. And I'm just like, the hell with this. Like I do some eyeliner, I do some lip gloss, right? Like Lakia said, eyeliner, lip gloss, lipstick, that was enough for me, Oh, you have freckles. Freckles are cute. You miss body positive. I do. It's hard to be comfortable in your own skin when you don't have anyone telling you to be comfortable in your own skin. I try to emphasize that with my kids all the time, that they are worthy, that they are loved, that regardless of whether people think about them today, it's not what people think about you, it's what you think about you. And that is a hard lesson that no one ever instilled into me, because I grew up in a time where it's just, it's just, we a lot of us Gen Xers grew up in a time where, especially as women, that performing for men was kind of like the thing. being available and accessible and attractive to men for Gen Xers was the thing. Nobody was really out here going like, girls, you know, you ain't gotta do all that. Now girls have learned a lesson, but in my day, it was very performative. Y'all know, y'all Gen Xers, y'all Gen X, y'all know the time, the media that we grew up in. Like I tell people, I say we grew up in a time when they had movies like American Beauty and bullshit movies that would never see the light of day in our time. Like I grew up in the 80s where 12-year-old Brooke Shields was out here posing in Jordache jeans and doing Playboy interviews. Like the time that we Gen X, we went through a very inappropriate ass time, okay? Everything was inappropriate for us. Everything. Like I think about all the like if y'all think about the movie American Beauty, it was about some 40, 50-year-old dude or dude in his 30s lusting after some 16-year-old. Like that would never fly today. Like we went through all of these teenage rom-com movies where they were like having sex and the girls were like giving throaty boaty to 16-year-old boy. Like we went through a time where it was very inappropriate. Like as to what was today. I couldn't believe the things that they got away with back in the day. Like back in the 70s, the 80s, the 90s, all of that time period was just like, here's these young girls. We just serving them up. Like people would say just nasty shit about young girls, and it was just socially acceptable to be a 27-year-old dude hitting on a 16-year-old. Like all these things that today people be like, wait a minute. Like I said, I went through the whole Brooke Shields years. I will never forget that. Like all the movies that Brooke Shields would do, y'all know, y'all Gen Xers, y'all know. I was watching this shit at like 10, 11 years old, watching Brooke Shields up here in these commercials and these movies when she was like a young girl. And I'm just like, you know, yeah, Pretty Baby. I watched Pretty Baby as a kid and didn't realize that this movie was inappropriate as fuck. And I watched it again a couple of months ago and I'm like, whoa, wait a minute. I said, wait a minute. I didn't see the movie. When you look up Pretty Baby, I had to stop the movie. I was like, I don't think I should be watching this. This is not something that somebody should be watching. Like what? And then I remember they had a movie called Lolita. Like they had a movie and a book called Lolita that I watched as a kid. What the hell was I watching at 10, 11, 12 years old? I was watching Pretty Baby and Lolita as a kid. These were books. These are movies. These are considered classic literature. Like, and you go back and watch them now, and you're like, what in the hell was happening here? And then you will see the movies with Jodie Foster, and the movies that she was in, and you're like, wait a minute, is she messing around with that? Wait a minute, how old is she in this movie? Like, she's 14, 15, the dude is like 20. I watched Taxi Driver and was like, bitch, what are we doing here? What are we doing in Taxi Driver? Bitch, what is happening? What is she doing? I'm like, like as a parent watching it, I'm clutching the purse. I'm going, okay, what? She with the Taxi Driver, and she like, how's she? Jodie Foster? What the hell? I'm like, oh, bro, what is going on in here? I'm like, what in the name of God is happening? Baby, go back and watch all the movies. Baby, them movies was suspect. Everybody that made them movies back in the day, they all get a side eye from me because all of them movies was inappropriate. All of these movies was inappropriate for kids to be watching. And people like, this is art. I'm like, you remember all of that? Yeah, Woody Allen and girl. Patrick Swayze, yes. Patrick Swayze and Dirty Dancing, like that chick, like Jennifer Grey's character is supposed to be like 16 years old. And this dude in his 20s. I was like, I go back and watch it. I said, okay. Like one of my favorite movies back in the day, we getting way off topic, is Weird Science. I love Weird Science. It's about these dorky dudes that bring this chick back to life, Kelly LeBrock, which Kelly LeBrock to me, baby, let me tell you, Kelly LeBrock is one of the most gorgeous women I've ever seen in my life. So Kelly LeBrock came back as this science experiment. Kelly LeBrock had a banging body. She's a grown-ass woman in Weird Science with these high schoolers. Like, to go back and watch it, I was like, oh, I love Weird Science. And I watched it, I was like, oh, okay, so, oh, man. I'm like, I never realized how gross these movies were. And I was like, you remember that? Remember Weird Science? I used to watch that movie every Saturday on HBO. Like it was considered a teenage, like a kids movie. Girl, I watched the movie now. I'm like, I said, but she grown and they supposed to be 16 in high school. I like, okay, and then the misogyny. She's supposed to be a doll that they brought to life, and then I was like, okay, this is a little bit too much for Kiki. Let me just go ahead and get the remote and boop, turn that off. I couldn't even watch Weird Science. It was disgusting. I'm like, this is nasty. I'm like, I understand that she's supposed to be a doll, but they looking at her body and and I'm like, but she still, Kelly LeBrock was a grown woman. Like, I'm like, oh God. I'm like, huh? I'm like, oh God. Oh yes, all those movies were ick. I love Weird Science. I loved it. I still like them. I mean, I like it, but going back watching, I was like, this is problematic. I'm like, this is some boys with a grown woman that's supposed to be a doll. She a doll, and then they trying to get with her. I was like, Lord, I'm like, holy misogyny, Batman. Holy patriarchy, Batman. I was like, this is inappropriate all the way around. I'm like, this is not the objectification of women in this movie. I'm like, so she just a doll. She just, even though she had feelings, and even I was like, Lord have mercy. Then they lusting over her, and they in high school. I was like, oh, bro. I was like, no wonder that we all messed up in Gen X. I said, oh, we got like, and I never really recognized how problematic these movies were until being an adult, especially having children. And I'm like, I wouldn't let my kids watch this shit. I'm like, this is inappropriate. There's a lot of those kind of movies back in the day. And so, yeah, these movies have aged terribly. Oh, you girl watching Pretty Little Liars, and if you didn't ship Aria with the teacher, people would be offended. I never watched Pretty Little Liars. That just sounds gross. Less Than Zero was one of my favorite too. I love the Brat Pack. I love all those movies were inappropriate. All those movies had like drugs and all kinds of alcoholism, and I'm just like, oh God, what were we doing back then? I said, no wonder we're messed up. I'm like, we saw those movies. Hello, we were talking about the entertainment. We were talking about the entertainment industry. Moonlight. We were talking about like the skinny K-pop singers now, the female singers. That's like the in thing now, to be really, really skinny and really, really thin. And then we're talking about the movie and the music industry and how things that used to be about body positivity and inclusion, and now we're getting back into everybody got to be skinny, skinny, thin. And so many K-pop singers, female singers, we're talking about Hyolyn, and also the member of Triple S, who was very emaciated skin. And they're not the only ones. There are other ones that are also out there too, female K-pop singers, that are sickly, deathly skinny. And so now we're getting into the point where people are starting to think that, young people are starting to think that's cool, starting to think that's sexy, to be really, really skinny, skinny, thin. And with the advent of Ozempic and other drugs out there, even in Hollywood, we're talking about Ariana Grande, Cynthia Erivo, and how other actresses that I've seen on the red carpet, like you see they bones out their back, and like this is becoming a serious issue in the entertainment industry. And we're getting back to the point where, back in the 90s, for a lot of us grew up in the 90s, where this was popular, where it was popular to be skinny, skinny, thin with no hips and no boobs, and you look like a little boy, and they want you to look not even like a little boy, like a little girl. Like that's another thing I want to talk about, is that the looking like a little girl is starting to come back into play. And it's always been an element in K-pop, but it's really starting to infiltrate itself back into K-pop a lot. Yes, there's so many. Chinese drama, they look really thin too. Yes, they are normalizing eating disorders now. There are so many K-pop singers that I feel like they are just one fall away from death. Like, I'm serious. I'm not trying to be funny, but like, how do you fall and be that skinny and not have a broken bone or severely hurting yourself? How do you be that skinny and you if you fall down, like you gonna be bruised? Your skin, your bruises are not gonna heal because you're malnourished. So I was like, how do they even, they bump into something and they may rupture a blood vessel? Like, these are real things that happen when people are so emaciated and so skinny that their body don't have enough cushion to even, like, how does she get up there? How do these K-pop singers get up there and dance and sing for hours. So another thing I want to talk about, same thing I talked about last week, people are like, well, how do they get up there and not eat? And then they have energy. And I tell people right now, in K-pop, in South Korea, people take a lot of supplements. And I've told y'all before that a lot of these supplements are borderline illegal. I mean, do y'all remember the days of Fin? Now, some of y'all are from America, some of you guys are not. But I remember in the days when I was in my late teens, early 20s, like back in the 90s and during the early 2000s, y'all remember Fin. If you don't know, Fin was this drug that started out as a pharmaceutical drug that then eventually became available over the counter as a dietary supplement. But it was sold everywhere. People were selling it online. People were selling it. I remember infomercials about people selling Fin. I know people were taking it, and the only reason they stopped selling Fin and they outlawed it because people were having heart palpitations. People were dying because of Fin. Fin, it turned out that it weakened the heart valves because it was basically an amphetamine. Like it was basically a drug. Like basically. So they took it off the market. And I told people that they have something, there have been carbon copies out in international spaces where there's not so much regulations. But in South Korea, a lot of the idols take a lot of quote unquote supplements. A lot of these supplements have caffeine, they have chemicals. Some of these supplements that they take are basically a bootleg version of Fin. And it's basically Fin hyper accelerates it's a stimulant. So it makes you all jittery and stuff like that. I had a friend that her mama was on Fin and lost a whole bunch of weight. So Fin helps keep you up, keeps you energetic, and it used to make you lose weight. So I had a friend that her mom was on Fin. She was like addicted to Fin. She ended up having a hole in her heart because of it. And she ended up suing the company that made it. And she got $1 million settlement, by the way. And this was like 15 years ago. So again, you would go to the doctors and the doctors would put you on Fin. They would put you on this drug, not knowing how detrimental it would be. Fasting was huge in the 80s. Yes. And hydroxycut. Yeah. Tell me I was cleaning the ceiling at 3 a.m. Yeah, it was an upper type drug. You would be I remember I had a doctor prescribe me something close to it and I would be all shaky and jittery. But yes, it accelerated your metabolism. And so people would lose weight very quickly, but it was damaging to your health. It was damaging to your kidneys, to your heart rate, to your liver, to a lot of things. And so a lot of people started to die, have health issues, they started to sue. But in South Korea, they have a medication, they have several medications that are almost close to that. That if you get with some of these unscrupulous doctors, they can prescribe you anything. So a lot of these idols, they are not eating, but they are taking drugs, they're taking supplements and prescriptions that have lots of caffeine in it, or lots of whatever Fin had in. I forgot the chemical in it. And they are kind of like a remix or a low-key remix of Fin. And so they keep you from falling asleep because, of course, you're not eating. You're like this. You're tired all the time. But then they give them these, they quote-unquote call them health supplements. There are companies out there that they specialize in these health supplements that a lot of famous people take. And they take these health supplements literally all day. Like they would take 10, 11, 12, 14, 15 supplements all day. And all they do is accelerate your metabolism, your heart rate. So they keep you up, they keep you energetic, and they help you lose weight, and they curb your appetite. So you have like a triple. So people love these fucking supplements in South Korea. I've told y'all about it all the time. The supplement game in South Korea is strong. Like these supplement companies are making hand over fist money in South Korea. Double shots of espresso will take you out. It is best to lose weight naturally. But when you have deadlines, when you have schedules, when you have all of these things, they don't have time to work out. They don't have time to do it the right way. They don't have the time. They are telling people that you got to lose weight. Like, I need you to lose weight like 15, 20 pounds. I need you to lose that in like 30 days. So they're under a lot of pressure to lose weight very quickly. And so if you're going to lose weight very quickly, you're going to do Ozempic. You're going to take these supplements that are basically a huge shot of Fin and caffeine. And then you need something to keep you energetic because you be passed out, girl. You be crashed out. So that's how these idols, a lot of them, especially when they're touring, especially when they're doing promotions, keep up their energy even though they're not eating. I've talked about that before. That I learned that years ago. People were telling me, what about Ozempic? A lot of Ozempic is kind of like the hush hush quiet thing in South Korea right now. That nobody wants to admit that they're using the Ozempic, but they are. And you can tell that when people are, and like you can tell it in their face. But yeah, nobody wants to admit that there's actually a social stigma in South Korea regarding Ozempic. Like there is a stigma that feels like if you're using Ozempic that you're weak or you are a quitter or something like that. But secretly, everybody is using it, especially the female idols. Everybody's using it, but there's a stigma to it. But everybody uses it. I mean, especially when you need to lose weight and not eat quickly. I feel sad for them. They are very skinny, and they have plastic surgery as well. But plastic surgery is just part of South Korea. Period. Like even beyond the idols, like you have teenagers getting plastic surgery. Let me tell y'all something funny. This ain't funny, but it is. So there is a term in South Korea. I forgot the South Korean term for it, but y'all can look it up. So in South Korea, you have these women. So these women are glamorously beautiful, and they meet these men, right? And they meet these men or whatever, and they get married. Just regular people, not necessarily the industry. So they get married. And then it's time for them to settle down, married, and start a family. They have a family, they have a kid. So here you have this woman, she done got a lot of plastic surgery. She got a double eyelids done. She done got a hairline done. She done got her face lifted. She done got chin implants. She done got her jaw shaved down. She done got her nose done. All this shit, right? So the dude is like, oh my God, my wife's so beautiful, beautiful, blah, 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 blah. He may have got a few things done, a few touch-ups here and there. But for him, he looking at his wife like, oh, we have beautiful babies. Baby, don't you know they had these kids and these kids be ugly? Don't y'all know the baby come out and they be like, who is you? Who baby is this? Girl, they be holding this baby. They be like, I don't know. He don't really look like me. He kind of look. I don't know. Wow. Just wow. I don't. Whoo. And the parents be like, they be looking. Who baby is this? Who baby is this? Somebody. Who baby is this? Child, they be having babies talk about who baby is this? The baby be up there like this. The baby be up here like this. Baby up here like this. They like, who is this? They be like, who? Baby don't look like me. They be looking at their wife like, baby child, they don't even know. Yes. Oh my God. Yeah, they've had a fake story, but the concept is real. People have had babies and they looked at the babies going, whose baby is this? Like this baby, like the husband be like, well, it don't look like me. It looked just like the wife before she had surgery. Shit, they gotta start going through pictures like, okay. They used to seeing their wives one way and they met her after she done had all the surgery. And then when they had a baby and the baby come out looking like the wife and the baby just be up there. The baby be up there like this. They like, who is this? Who is this? Child, these men be in Korea be like, okay, I guess it look like my wife. Baby, these babies, yeah, it look just like your wife. Before she had the surgery. Yeah. Because again, you can get plastic surgery, but that don't alter your DNA. At the end of the day, if you got a big nose and you got a sour face and you got a thick double eyelid and you got real thin lips, guess what? Your child is going to reflect your looks because you can't alter your DNA. Your DNA can't be altered. So these women and these men be mad because their kids end up not looking like them, but it looks like them before they had plastic surgery. So they have a sense of shame a lot of times, not just in South Korea, but in China as well, because they like, okay, I can't wait till this girl gets older. And then they pressure their children as they get older to have plastic surgery so they can look more like mom and dad. And so by the time the kids get to be 16, 17 years old and they graduate from high school, they're like, hey, guess what? We have a surprise for you. Plastic surgery. Because they want their kids to look like them and reflect their beauty, but it's not natural. That's not like, you can't alter how your kids are going to look when they come out. They're going to look like you. And if you weren't that cute in the beginning, but you didn't got enough plastic surgery to where you look, because I'm telling you, because some of these K-pop singers, they don't look nothing like their children. You see their kids and you're like, is that their son? And they don't look nothing like them. They don't look nothing like their sons or daughters at all. And then you see older pictures of them and you're like, oh, okay, yeah, they do. That does look like their daughter. And so being a kid of someone famous or someone well-known or someone very beautiful is a lot of pressure for the child, especially if they are very basic, and then everybody's looking at you like, that's your mama? Like, yeah, that's my mom. She's an actress. And they looking at you like, okay, so what happened to you? And then not knowing that before their mom became a famous actress, she was just a normal looking average person. I didn't see some idols that look totally different. So I just be cracking up that these people be upset because they look at their kids and they like, oh, yeah, your kid, and it's not like their kid be ugly, but their kid just look very basic, and then like, well, they look very basic. Like, yeah, the Kardashians, but yeah, their kids are beautiful though. She said, oh my gosh, no. And like, yeah, you thought you was getting a car for graduation. A lot of well-to-do people, not even well-to-do, because in Korea, plastic surgery is cheap. So everybody goes and gets the double eyelid. Like, they will ask for graduation gifts from parents, grandparents, aunt and uncles, or whatever, and they will get them surgery vouchers. And so they'll go and get the double eyelid fixed, or their hairline, or they will get fillers and stuff in their lips or their nose done. And it's not expensive. It's just something that people give along with a car or along with money or a trip or some money. They be like, here, we're gonna give you money to go get your face done. It's just normal. And it's like, okay, because again, in South Korea, it's not just looks like your parents, but it's also about whether you have job opportunities and everything. There's a term for it. But yeah, your looks are tied to your job opportunities. And so these companies say that they don't go by looks, but they do go by looks. Like a lot of times in South Korea, when you turn in a resume, you have to put a picture of yourself as well in the resume. So some of these people go to professional photographers whenever they're filling out a resume. Then they go to a professional photographer and they get headshots to put with their resume because looks really matter in South Korea. And again, once again, this is not cultural. South Korea has painted themselves in this fucking corner. They have put themselves in this because it didn't used to be like this. This is shit that went on like in the 90s. And that is just kind of filtered down to this day because it didn't always used to be like that. That people were looking at people's pictures and resumes in the 80s. It wasn't like that. They've kind of painted themselves in this corner. That's why I said a lot of things in K-pop is an offshoot of Korean culture being hyper competitive. And you see this in K-pop. There's a sense of competitive. And I said, Westerners, we should never. Child, that's a whole conversation. I'm going to do a whole video about that. I'm like, as Westerners, we shouldn't fall for this because our society is not that hyper competitive. Korean society is. A lot of parts, even in Asian society, is a level of hyper competitiveness. But that doesn't really translate well. And I hate to see international people who are Westerners fall in line with this shit instead of stepping back and going like, wait a minute, this don't make no damn sense. I'm not doing this. Instead of reevaluating it and being like, that doesn't really reflect my values as a person, and I'm not going to do it. And that's the same thing I don't do. I don't fall into this hyper sense of competitiveness in K-pop because to me, this is a cultural expression in Korea, and I'm not Korean. So I'm not going to fall. I'm not going to have like, well, I need to pit Blackpink against BTS. I don't do shit like that because they're all friends behind the scenes. So why do I feel any sense of competitiveness with any K-pop group? I don't. That's not my cultural expression. Like there's no sense of competition in K-pop to me. I'm just like, everybody just go get your money and stay in your lane. It's a level of toxicity that comes from a Korea with a sense of scarcity in Korea, in China. Japanese are not really that bad, but there's a sense of scarcity in their histories that it trickles down to their culture. And I'm like, I'm not participating in that because I'm not Asian, I'm not Korean. So I bow out of that. I was like, that's what you motherfuckers want to do. If y'all want to drag Blackpink, you gonna do that. Don't look at me to be doing it. Well, Kiki, what? Jenny, have you ever met Jenny? I'm like, I like Jenny. You're not gonna have me up here dragging Jenny? For what for? I'm like, you're not gonna have me up here dragging Stray Kids and ATs for what for? Because y'all on some sense of like K-pop vendetta bullshit? Like, y'all like, oh, we gotta compete. This is not the Hunger Games. I don't participate. I don't volunteer as tribute. I buy out of all of that. It is a sickness and it is a toxicity in the industry. There is a toxicity that I don't want to participate in. I don't want to participate. You're not going to make me participate. There is no competition in K-pop to me. They're all artists. They're all young people trying to make it in this industry. They all deserve the respect unless they do something crazy. They start doing illegal shit, then yeah. But I tell Western fans, y'all should just buy out of that. Just be like, okay, y'all want to do that. I buy out. I'm like, nope. I ain't doing that. You gonna have me up here dragging K-pop idols for no reason just because y'all upset. Nah. Because y'all got to pit Blackpink against BTS. I don't. To me, they're not in competition. Blackpink is in their lane. BTS is in their lane. I respect both groups, you know. Yeah, there's a scarcity trauma, right, Minnie? It's a scarcity trauma. All I do, yes, I just want to listen to good music and enjoy what I enjoy. You know, I'm not for the drama. I'm not for the toxicity. I sure in the hell don't court it on my channel. I weed people out all the time. We try to bring that in or such. People try to assume things. People assume things about me all the time. Well, you don't like Blackpink and you don't, since when? I'm like, what the hell are you talking about? I'm like, what? Me? Who went to a Blackpink concert? Me. Okay. Or a sense that I have some hatred because they used to that level of toxicity in other spaces. And I'm like, that doesn't exist here with me because it's dumb. So since we talked about K-pop and that, the second thing I really want to talk about is Michael. So the Michael movie, if you've not seen the Michael movie, please go see the Michael movie if you're so inclined. Like I said, it's not a very deep movie. There's supposed to be sequels. Jafar Jackson played his uncle to the T. And there are some observations about the American entertainment industry and the K-pop industry that I noticed. I've said it before in my other video that I did, that I feel like when Michael was on top, and I lived through those years, I was fortunate enough for a lot of us to live through the time when Michael Jackson was on top of the world. And he was, before the allegations came out, before all of that stuff, there will never be another Michael Jackson ever. I've never seen nothing like it. And to see this movie made me realize even more that there will never be another performer like Michael. There will never be nothing. I've never seen anything like the way Michael influences people. I've never seen nothing like it. And I don't think that there will be another Michael ever. However, Michael was on top of his game. He has the highest selling album of all time, highest selling tour of all time. People respected Michael. So what I get upset about is in 2026 is that to me, BTS is at the pinnacle, at least in the K-pop industry and the boy group, whatever group industry. I don't see the level of respect that the Western industry had for Michael, regardless of whether you were jealous of Michael, and a lot of people were envious of his number. You understand, Michael was on top of his game for over 20 years. Even if you want to go back to the Jackson 5, if you want to go back later than that. So you had somebody that was on top of their game since the fucking 60s, okay? Like if you really want to go there, from the 60s all the way up to the early 2000s, Michael was on top of his game. Nobody was the king of pop. Nobody was at the highest levels. I'm not saying BTS can compare to Michael, but people respected Michael. I've never heard the things that I've heard this week about BTS have left me flabbergasted, have left me confused. What Michael did for the music industry, especially for the Black community and Black music, he elevated it and brought it to the mainstream. And that allowed other artists like Whitney Houston, like Prince and Madonna and other artists to be able to break into the mainstream lexicon. They didn't even play Black music. They didn't even play Black videos on MTV when Michael Jackson broke that barrier. And again, I think Michael is slept on, but I just, again, for me, I try to explain to people, I have a hard time with this K-pop shit because to me, BTS is at the top of their game in their particular niche and field. And I don't understand the level of disrespect that BTS continues to get even to this day. I don't understand it. It's weird to me. It is weird because again, Michael Jackson is, even if you like Prince more than Michael Jackson or whatever, we would never disrespect Michael. Michael was never disrespected. And I understand that it is total disrespect. Yes, I heard about the Big Four trying to do a festival. I wrote about it saying that they are trying to do their own like Coachella, which I hopefully they'll be successful because I would love to see it. But it's very weird to me. It's very weird to me. The United States do give flowers to everything else, just depends. But when it comes to music, we are the origin of the modern music industry. We are the origins. So for us, again, in America, regardless if people want to acknowledge it or not, if people like it or not, the American music industry, we are the highest share of the music industry. And then on top of that, we are the progenitors. There would be no music industry in any of these countries without America, period. Everything goes through the West, regardless if people like it or not. And the people may agree with it. I don't agree with certain things about the Western music, but we originated pretty much everything. Like there's nothing I can say. Now, I don't rah-rah America, y'all know. But I do rah-rah the music industry because we started all of this. America started all of the music industry. There would be no modern blueprint of an industry without people taking what we did and just adapting it and copying it and doing whatever they did. What my problem is the aberration of, there are things that the American music industry has gotten right that is not perfect, but there are things we've gotten wrong, but there's things we've also gotten right. What I don't understand is the level of schizophrenia with the fans. I don't understand how you can listen to Lady Gaga and Billie Eilish and be like, yay, but then BTS, when it comes to K-pop, your whole mindset flips. And it's, they can't date, they can't do this, they can't do that. I'm like, what? But the same shit that you don't like for them doing, you celebrate. Justin Bieber, again, I'm not trying to knock Justin Bieber, y'all, can get out there in his damn drawers, okay? He can get out in his drawers in Coachella and sit there and watch YouTube and hum along, and people are like, brilliant, wonderful, brilliant, and I'm just like, so I guess Taman can get out there in his drawers and, oh, okay, no, he can't, oh, he can't, oh, okay. The same shit that people have complaints about, they celebrated in Western artists. But again, the West, yes, there would be no industry without us. There would be no industry without us, period. There would be just none. There would be no industry. The K-pop industry, yes, they stole our industry. I mean, they took and they adapted it, but at the end of the day, it's still, at the end of the day, all roads through music go through us. You can't be popular without us. There is more of us in the West than there is in Asia. It's just numbers. It's just a numbers game. There are more people in America. South Korea is a little country. Japan is not a very big country. You take Japan, South Korea, Thailand, Vietnam, you put all of them together, it might equal the population of the United States. because we just have more people. There's more people in Canada and the UK and Germany. There's just more of all of us everywhere. So they need our dollars and our money for sure. But when those of us in the West or Western fans try to buck up against the system and we're like, that's not right, then it's like, well, you guys are Westerners. Wait, what? But y'all need our money. Y'all want to come here and they want to tour here and they want our money. They want us to buy merchandise. And again, I have a serious problem with people wanting us to participate in buying things, but then we don't have any say so. Then we need to just shut the hell up and go sit down. No, we're not going to do that. I'm like, if you want us to listen to the music and you want all of the things, and trust me, all of these branding deals, some of them are in Korea, but when you're talking about Gucci and Givenchy and Prada and Valentino, that's not South Korea. That's America. Calvin Klein is American. I mean, that's Europe in America. Calvin Klein is American. They want to have all these prestige deals, but then they like, well, we don't like the West, but I'm like, okay, but y'all want to sell to us. So yeah, it's like, you know, exactly. And it's fine for Americans to do anything, but Asians can't because they're more cultured. Thank you. So my point is, in my mind, I keep the same energy for everybody. I don't have separate rules for BTS that I have separate rules for American artists. It is the same thing to me. So I don't understand why American artists can command such a sense of respect and reverence, especially ones that have been in the industry for quite a long time, that pioneered and blazed trails. Nobody would dare try to drag Michael. Like going back to the Michael Jackson, nobody would dare. People may say things quietly and behind the scenes, but nobody would dare disrespect Michael to his face or on the internet. People wouldn't dare. People wouldn't dare do that because they understand they're like, no, Michael's done a lot for the industry, so, you know, y'all cool it. Nobody would dare, even down to this day, even with all the charges with the children and all that shit, people still have a sense of awe and reverence for Michael Jackson, a sense of respect. Even me, who, again, if you want to ask me about the charges, that's a whole nother video. Do I believe some of the shit? Yeah. I do believe something weird was going on there. So people can fight it out of whether they believe Michael Jackson was guilty of certain things or not, or whether Michael Jackson was a weirdo or not. But I will never disrespect Michael's musicality and what he brought to the industry as a whole. But again, it's just amazing to me that like, well, BTS, we can drag them. It's okay. Because I promise you, 20, 30 years from now, people are going to look back and be like, oh my God, BTS. And they're going to talk about BTS in hushed tones and reverence because BTS are going to do things that other artists, other groups, and especially Korean groups have not done. And so people are going to have hindsight as 2020 and speak about BTS like they're legends. They will be legends in their own time. But the fact that people don't give them their credit or they do or their respect is wild to me. It's like people are out to really take them down. Like, we're going to do everything we can to try to drag this group and nitpick everything they do. That doesn't exist in the music industry, in the Western music industry that I came from. That doesn't exist. People just like, if you don't like an artist, okay, I don't listen to them. I'm not down with that. I don't really like that artist. And people just move on, you know? Yeah. And then when I post things on my social media, I post things saying, like recently, about how much tourism BTS brought with this one concert. How much money people spent in South Korea with that free concert. How tourism has increased since BTS has come back out the military. All of these things, you would think that people would be like, well, you know, they did bring tourism and they're bringing money. So you would think people at least would understand the money aspect of it. Just like with Michael Jackson brought the money. Whenever he would tour, it would be crazy. And all the other artists that he's collaborated with and opened for him and he's put on and brought on and the producers and everything, they have ridden the wave of working with Michael in one way or another. It helped enhance their careers. And so I have a hard time not understanding what is this, you know? So I have a hard time going, okay, so what is this? You know, they are internationally as well-known and successful as some of the most well-known. Yes. They are just as well-known, everything. So that brings to my other point. I have a video coming out this week where I did on my post where the Korean fans were in awe of what was happening in America. And I say awe loosely. I say awe loosely. Hold on. I say awe loosely. Very loosely. I say awe loosely. Really, they were like, some of the K armies was like, oh, okay, this is great. But really, they was jealous. They was jealous. They were jealous because in America, BTS are popular. They are jealous because when they look at other K-pop concerts, it's a bunch of women, it's a bunch of girls, a bunch of K-pop people, young ladies, whatever. But when they see BTS, they see men, they see women, they see black, they see white, they see ages from 8 to 85. They see all races, shapes, colors, and they were gagging in South Korea. They were amazed. They were like, they're having so much fun, and people were singing along, and the security guards were singing along, and they were like, oh, this is great. Bitch, get the fuck out of here. No, it wasn't great. They was gagging. They was gagging, honey. They was gagging. They try to be like, oh, well, that's cool. No, you weren't. Y'all were mad because y'all were like, well, the other K-pop concerts don't have that. No, they don't have that. Why? Because BTS got that. Y'all are mad because, and y'all are amazed that even despite going to the military and despite everything that you've tried to do to tear BTS down, that they have more of a reach than any one of your fucking K-pop groups, period. Blackpink, Stray Kids, no disrespect to none of them, but none of them have the reach that BTS has. And they are gagging, honey. They're gagging. They are amazed. They're like, oh my God. Yeah, because no other K-pop group has that level of diversity in their ranks. They were upset because they was mad. They was mad. They was like, oh my God, it's like a festival. And look at all the male fans. Yeah, BTS has male fans. Yeah, they were amazed at how diverse the fans was because it's something that other K-pop groups have tried to emulate, but they don't have the magic sauce that BTS has. So they are upset about that. So and they low-key throw shade and they like, oh, that's nice. No, y'all don't think it's nice. Y'all are like, y'all throwing shade. It's pure jealousy about what we got over here. Yes, they are phenomenon. It is history in the making. We're living through history again. Yes. And they try to throw ageism as armies. Well, y'all a bunch of fans are old. No, they're not. Armies are 8 to 80. Armies have there were all kinds of people there. There were little kids there. There were old grandmas there. And everything else in between. There were black people, white people, Hispanic people, Asian. There were all kinds of people there. There were men. There were women. There were all kinds of people. The security guards were laughing and listening and dancing and singing Butter and Dynamite. And they were like, well, that don't happen in Korea. Yeah, because y'all stand around and y'all don't do nothing in Korea. Y'all stand around and y'all wave your light sticks and y'all don't interact. They were amazed that everybody was singing, that everybody knew the words, that people were clapping and cheering and free and who. They low-key envious of that. The way we express ourselves as Army in America is different. We don't care if JK go around and do a hip thrust. We are not shocked about that. We are clapping. We're like, yes, hip thrust, more of that. Girl, this week I have read so much level of absurdity in the Korean boards. I've read that people was mad because Jimin drank water and spit. And I seriously had to test my damn sanity, okay? I had to stop and be like, bitch, what? What? Jimin is disgusting because he drank water and spilled it out. I said, I'm like, oh, he drank water and he spit it. So is that okay? Like I'm not understanding. They didn't like because Kim Tae-young was hip thrusting. They didn't like that JK was swinging his little JK around on stage. They didn't like whatever. I don't know. They don't like that Sugar was quiet. And I was just like, here in America, we're like, yay. In Korea, they're like, we don't like this. We don't like that. I'm like, really? This what we doing now? Like we mad because somebody spit on stage? Like, oh my God, right. Right. Y'all know JK. I watched that video about 20 times. I'm sitting there going, okay, so all right, this little JK. Well, I'm just saying, I'm just like, they was singing body to body, and it was like the part come up, and then J-Hope was like, it's so tight, and then Kim Tae-young apparently pointed to his crotch, and I was like, just a whole shot of hands went up. I want to know. Can I just see what it's like? Can I just? But that made news. That made the message boards in Korea like, oh my God, Kim Tae-young pointed to his crotch. I'm like, God bless him. God bless him. Yes. I would put some respect on little JK. I was like, so no. So I am just amazed. Then Run BTS. Run BTS drove me to the point of insanity. Run BTS had me like this. I had me online like this. V disrespect Jungkook. Fuck, man. Here we go. I'm just like, okay, all right. Then the Weavers. Sugar disrespect Jimin. I'm like, okay. I'm just like, everybody disrespect Jimin. Can I just watch 20? It's literally 18 minutes of Run BTS as to what K-drama subplots we had in 18 damn minutes had me tired. I was like, I'm exhausted. It is literally an 18-minute episode. These people picked apart the episode. These people didn't like that V said that Jungkook is not good at everything. These people was like, Jimin had to go to the toilet and somebody told him not to go to the toilet. Whatever it was. I was like, oh my God. Then the Weavers. People was like, well, we didn't like the way Sugar was talking in the gym. And I'm like, they are just having normal banter that people have with their siblings or friends. Like, I didn't think Jimin was offended or took it seriously. Sugar was kind of low-key roasting him a little bit, but kind of cute about it. I'm like, they call Sugar incel. They call Sugar jealous. And I'm like, oh my gosh, Sugar's an incel now. Why? Why is Sugar an incel? Why? I'm like, I'm sitting there I'm watching the Weavers like this. I'm like, let me watch it again. Maybe I missed something. Okay, this is the third watch. Maybe the fourth time I will see something. I'm reading the translation. I'm asking people to translate. I'm like, maybe I'm missing something. I'm asking Koreans to watch. Can you watch it? Maybe somebody. There was nothing that Sugar said in Jimin's interaction on the Weavers that was offensive or bad. It's just two people that know each other, two guys that are sitting around and having a conversation. And there is just a little light ribbing. Jimin told Sugar, it was hilarious when he told him, he said, well, he said, well, you always, rubbing you. He said, this cat Tang always plays with balls. He's like, why don't you play with balls? And Sugar deadpan said, I'm not a cat. So he's like, I'm not Tang. Like, why would I play with, like, why would I do that? Like, it was hilarious. Like, the banter between them is just Jimin all giggly and goofy. And then Sugar's very like, okay, I guess. Like Sugar's very deadpan, which is a level of my sense of humor is very like sarcastic and deadpan. People got offended about that. And I'm just like, if you offended, don't watch. Just don't watch the Weverses. But they were dragging Sugar, and I'm gonna feel some type of way about them up here dragging Yoongi like that. Like, I was like, I said, I know y'all not dragging Yoongi. Yoongi don't hurt nobody. I'm like, who you? Like, Yoongi, the stuff he was saying was just normal banter between him and Jimin throughout the years. And I was like, are y'all just brand new? Or what? This is just normal. It's just normal for them. They have a family relationship. Like I was cracking. Yes, when Jim had said, "Why don't you just marry them?" He said, "You know, it's no big deal. You can just divorce them later." They were like, "You can marry me. You can marry me." And they were like, "Why don't you just marry him?" And then Sugar was like, "Well, yeah, I am of the age that I need to get married. You know, I am in my 30s." So, he was saying that his dad was already married and already had a kid by the time he was his age. And I was laughing. I was like, I don't understand. Why would they get offended by anything Sugar was saying? Yes, our 1% battery life. You're right. Sugar's just so deadpan about it. It was so hilarious. He's just like, he said, "I don't play with ball." He's like, "I'm not Tang. I'm not him. Why would I play with a ball?" I will get married and get divorced. I just need one night. I'll be like, we can get married one day. We can get married on Friday and be divorced on Monday. I'm fine with that. I'll be like, well, I live my life. Life go reach, Yeah, yes, it is the solo stans. Yes, they are as bad as the shippers. Yes, I realize that the solo stans and the shippers are deranged nut jobs. They are insane. They're fucking crazy. And I don't deal with them on my channel because they bring this low-key crazy energy that I can't deal with. Because again, I don't care if you ship people and it's like in a fan fiction realm or it's in a teasing kind of fun kind of way. But I've told y'all before that this shipping shit has gotten to the point of toxicity. That it's not just fun times and fan fiction and cute pictures and deviant art. It's not that anymore. Now these people really think that it's real now. I don't know how we got here. I don't know. I haven't been in K-pop that long. But I know that shipping happens in many different genres of media. It happens in science fiction. It happens in fantasy. It has happened in many different medium. Whether you like Buffy the Vampire Slayer, whether you like Marvel always shipping people. Whether you like comic books, Star Wars, Star Trek, whatever. Shipping happens. It's harmless. It's fun. People have shipped characters in media for decades, okay? So I don't understand how in K-pop we got here, though. We have gotten to Delululandia Standia, where people are really serious and upset over their preconceived notions that certain idols are together. JK and Jim. Look, I didn't make the JK and Jim pregnant pics. Don't shoot the messenger. I didn't do it. We're going to talk about that in a minute. But, so, there's nothing wrong with shipping as long as it's done in a healthy, non-toxic, delusional way where you start taking this shit seriously. And then another thing, I have another video coming out this week where I'm going to talk about also a thing that's come up in my recent videos. I'm going to talk about promotions in K-pop and how promotions work and how things go along that are dis and misinformation and spun around K-pop in general and around BTS. But just in K-pop in general, that are not true. Like there are things that people say that I'm just like, when you go and look it up, it's not true. People never said certain things. There are a lot of things ascribed by shippers and by solo stans that the artists have never said. And people have just went with it because once somebody posts some dumb shit in a Reddit, then it just gets passed around and on and on and on and on and on. And so on and so forth. So there are a lot of things about BTS that people say to me or said to me in comment sections that when I go up and look and I'm like, that's not what was said. That never happened. Or there's no evidence for that. But people have run with it. And because people think it's real without fact checking or doing anything. And I come with receipts. I fact check what people are telling me, especially if I'm going to go out and make a video about it. Then I'm like, wait a minute. They said, what now? Well, let me go look it up because all of these things are easily out there. You can Google interviews and videos and statements and things that they've said everywhere. What BTS have said in their thoughts and their sentiments is pretty much documented pretty well. There's a lot of documentaries and stuff out there, like official stuff that the members have said in Weverses, and it's out there. It's not a mystery. It's not like if you don't understand how a BTS member feel about something or what they've said or what they've not said, it's an easy Google check. I mean, you can check to see what was actually said and what quotes were actually made. It's not that hard. The pregnancy pictures were so delulu. You seen so many shippers reaching constantly. Yeah, their delusion is toxic. Yes, they make videos with no evidence, no context at all. And they are literally spreading lies. Like, I'm like, that person never said that. Where are you getting that from? I don't let people get away with this shit on my channel because I'm like, prove it. Where's the article at? Because again, this is things that are easily verifiable. It's not that hard to verify. I mean, I can literally go on my computer and be like, boom, here's all the articles, here's all the quotes, here's what was said. And then when I bring it to people, they don't have no pushback. So let me also say this. I done said it before. I done said it again. I've done shorts. I've done videos. And I'm going to say it again for the 80th time. Like I said, I got a video coming up this week, and I would tell y'all about how promotions really work and according with the industry. So, because I went and asked. I was like, how does this work? And then somebody was like, here, let me tell you how this kind of works. So let me say it before in the back. I'm talking to the Hive haters because I always do videos for the Hive haters. And I put out many videos, you guys know, asking the Hive haters, come, I asked the Hive haters, come down to the front. Tell me what you know and where's the proof? I had, out of all the videos I've been doing for 6 or 7 months, asking the Hive haters to come on. I'm like, come on down. Price is right. How like Hive haters come down to the front. And I'm going to do another video this week again asking them to come down to the front. Tell me what you know. Where is it at? Not one fucking Hive hater has ever got in my comment section and given me any fucking thing of any fucking thing. Not a goddamn thing. Ever. Never. Not once have I had a Hive hater going, here's an article, here's a book, here's a video that some executive or artist or something they've said. I have not had not one damn proof of anything that Hive has done. There are so many narratives about 17, about BTS. Well, Hive didn't let V do promotions. Proof. You're not gonna fucking come to my fucking comment section and talk about Hive didn't do this and Hive didn't do that. What? Give me the article. Show me where this was said. Fucking hush mode. All of them, because they have nothing. I get so incensed because I'm like, you put your whole fucking brain on display, but you have no evidence. You gonna tell me that Hive did this and Hive did this about V or about RM, about whoever the fuck ever, about 17, where they overworking hyping. So where is this from? Crickets. They have no rebuttal. Hive didn't do this for V. Okay, I need evidence. I need proof. Hive overworking mistreated artists. As in what? Proof. I just need who said that? So is something that the artist said in the video or Weverse? Show me. No response. Hush mode. Hive is embezzling BTS's money. Proof. Show me. Where? What article? What publication has said this? Show me. They can't even give me a sorry ass Korean media. Like, even you can at least reference the sorry ass Korean media. Like, even then I would be like, there's some validity to that. They can't even give me a sorry ass Korean media article or publication or anything. And we live in a day and the age of ChatGPT and Google, and you can literally ChatGPT this shit to find out what you need to know. I have yet to have one Hive hater ever give me any kind of any fucking thing. I ain't got no proof. I ain't got no articles. I ain't got no he said, she said. I didn't get it. I didn't hear no Lunar New Year, nothing. So I ask once again to the Hive haters, dear Hive haters, please show me an article where the shit y'all be talking about. V didn't get promotions. Where? Show me. Then V was going to leave the group. Okay. Why? Why was he going to leave the group? Well, he was tired of Hive. Show me. That's not what's said. I pull up the articles in Billboard. I pulled the when he was sitting down with Yoongi on his show, I pulled up the articles and I said, that's not what he said. V never said he was going to leave the group because he was tired of Hyde or he was tired of the group. V never said that the members begged him back. That never happened. That is fucking fan fiction. That is some Wattpad shit that people made up. I look high, I look low. None of that existed. These sentiments get repeated over and over and over again. Never happened. V never said that. No, it's not out there. I was like, okay, maybe I missed it. I said, show me where he said that. I'll wait. I've been waiting for months now that nobody's ever showed me anything where V has been upset with promotions regarding layover, where V has said that he was leaving the group because he was tired of Hyber, where V has said that he was begged back by the members. None of that never happened. None of that. My BTS background. Woo! It's the Netflix picture where they have all the members. It's my favorite, one of my favorites, where they have all the members lined up. There's Yoongi and Jin and RM, I think. Yeah, RM. So yeah, they keep saying that V didn't get promoted and blah, blah, blah. So I asked them, I said, well, what promotions did V do? They can't even tell me. So I said, what promotions did V do? Because he did do promotions for layover. So I asked them, I said, so what promotions did V do? Crickets. They can't even answer and tell me what promotions V did do. So I would think, I was like, if you're telling me that they didn't do promotions, then you would be able to tell me what promotions was done. So I asked them, what promotions did they do? They don't even know what promotions V did. I do. There's a list of promotions that V did for layover. Easy information. If V wanted to do the United States, V did interviews in Rolling Stone at the time. He did do certain promotions. Yes. Their solo stands are insane. None of this existed. I'm just like, I'm still waiting. I don't know how long I'm going to wait. I'll probably be waiting until I'm dead in the grave. But I'm waiting. I'm like, so V didn't get promoted. Okay, so where is the evidence that Hybe didn't? Why wouldn't Hybe want to make money? So again, I have a video coming about how promotions make. How people's salaries are tied to promotions. The most absurd thing is that Hybe is jealous of some group or some person. They own that person. They own that group. They make money off of them. Their bonuses are coming from promotions and revenue. So why would they try to stymie anything? If anything, they would push them out there. If anything, and overwork the idols. The agency is not underworking anybody unless the idols are like, I'm not doing this. And they have agency like BTS do. And they have enough clout. BTS, and I said, BTS, after all the videos we've seen about BTS, whether it be Audition, Map of the Soul, I have a whole fucking book. I got the BTS book. I'm like, tell people, you read the book? I've read the book. Read the book. Okay? I got it for Christmas. I read the BTS book. So I said, out of everything, why would y'all even think, even this stuff, Layover, the creative director for Layover was Min Hee Jin and her team. Her team was the A&R for Layover, okay? And I said, it's not Hybe. The A&R department, I've said it over and over again, they decide the promotions, the creative direction, everything like that. Layover was handled by Min Hee Jin, okay? There's nothing in any interview that Min Hee Jin has done or any interview that V has done saying that he was disappointed or upset about promotions. That is fucking fantasy. There's nothing out there. So again, people can have their own opinions about Layover. But when you start saying, oh, V was upset about promotion, where? Show me. Show me. Where? There's nowhere. That doesn't exist. Just because you didn't like the promotions, you can say that. Well, I thought he should have had more promotions, blah, 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 blah. Okay. That's clean that shit up. But to sit here and be like, V was upset, Hybe didn't do this, Hybe didn't do that. Wait a minute, do you fucking work for Hybe? Okay, so where did Hybe say that they didn't do this and didn't do that? It doesn't exist. It's in here. It's a narrative that's put out there. That doesn't exist. Doesn't exist. I've looked everywhere. I'm like, so where did Hybe or Min Hee Jin say? Doesn't exist. So again, I can't be out here writing. I write enough fan fiction. Okay, I can't. I'm like, this is fan fiction. People's opinions have been reported and contorted and twisted now as fact. V didn't say any of these things. I've looked up every damn interview the other day. I spent 3 hours looking at interviews, going through articles, going through videos. Nothing matches what people are saying. I'm like, he actually said this and this and this. And the reason why V wanted to quit, because he was burnt out. Also, V has said, he said in one of the interviews with Billboard UK that one of the reasons why he wanted to quit, besides burnout, is because he said compared to the other members, he felt lacking. So why don't everybody ever bring up that? I said, wait a minute. V also said he felt like he was lacking in some way. And so that's another reason besides the burnout. That's the reason why. They did a Rolling Stone interview that I did a review and I talked about it. And every time V says something, they're like, oh, he's just being humble. Okay, so are we going to use his words or not? So we're just going to make up what he's saying. So if V says something, he's not telling the truth and he's not being honest. He's just trying to be humble. But then y'all are adding, like, does that make any sense to you? So no matter what, if V comes out and says, I have no desire to go solo, I like being with the members are my brothers, then they're like, oh, well, V doesn't really mean it. What? Make that make sense. Make that level of cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. Make that level of delusion make sense. Oh, we're talking about the narratives out there regarding HYBE and BTS, especially around V, you know. Yeah, I told people that I said V decided what he want to do. V was coming up against military. So again, there is no, it's been stated and said he was coming up against military service. The same thing with JK. They try to say that Golden wasn't pushed by HYBE either. I'm like, you do know he was going to the military. He didn't have time enough to do a tour. He didn't have time enough. He did as much as he could in that span of time. Like he did as much as he could, as many promotions. JK and V both did as much as they wanted to do. Because they were comparing JK to V. I said, you can't compare JK to V because JK and V are two different people. And then on top of that, JK and V are two different artists. And JK and V, their albums are two very different albums. So the idea that it's what V wanted to do. And that anybody that sit here and say that BTS doesn't have agency, you haven't watched that damn Audition documentary. I didn't watch that Netflix documentary 3 times. I went back and watched interviews and documentaries about their album process, and we see that BTS is involved in every process of their album. V even talked about the layover. He talked about his inspiration. He talked about the musical writing process. He talked about learning. There's whole articles and interviews with V that talked about the layover process. He was very much involved in his album from top to bottom. There is nothing out there saying that V just did, he was at a mercy to HYBE and he didn't have no choice. That's not what he said in interviews. Interviews, he very much talks about that. We all know, we should all know by now that BTS are even involved. They talked about the outfit. They talked about the person who did the outfits for their free concert, that each member had their own notes and input about what outfits they should wear. They have input in their music videos. They are all, I said, anybody can sit there and act like V or Jungkook or any one of these members are just sitting back like wilted flowers and they're just victims. It's not true. We've seen enough evidence, enough video where we see BTS are very much involved in their albums, how they look, what their videos look like. You can see them looking at footage. You can see them critiquing things, going, we shouldn't do this, we shouldn't do that. I don't like that outfit. Maybe I need to get this outfit. They are very much involved in the creative direction. There's enough evidence out there that we know that solo, individually, and collectively, they are very much involved in their music. And for anybody to sit there and act like V and Jungkook is some victims, I'm like, based on what? Again, I said provide evidence. There is none. Yes, JK said he wish he would have started it early. Right, that's what I'm saying. Like, yeah, it's if you love the artist, then again, the fans should show that they love the artist by supporting the artist, buying the albums and doing all of that. Yes, waiting for the company to just be like, okay, we're waiting for you to do it. Okay. Like, I mean, but the company does do whatever, with BTS, they're a little bit different than other K-pop artists. But again, I'm doing a whole video explaining how the K-pop promotions and things work because again, being a K-pop artist or any kind of artist, it's a symbiosis. It's not like V is out here by himself and like, well, I guess I gotta get out here and promote myself. Yeah, maybe if you're in a small agency, you have to do that. But when you're in one of the big four, they sit down with them and they ask them, like, this is the suggestions that we have. They have a whole board, like we saw in the documentary, when they had a whole board of promotions and the head of Big Hit was telling them, well, we think we should do this and do that in RM. And some of them were like, well, no, I don't think we should really do that. That's kind of how it goes on. It's a collaborative effort. To act like BTS is some wilting victims, I say in my video, I don't understand that. Me personally, find it detestable that BTS been in the industry as long as they have and as intelligent that they are not business savvy. You mean to sit here and tell me that JK and V aren't business savvy? You mean to tell me that as long as they've been in the business and the industry and the things that they've seen, that JK and V are some kind of lot of tight-lipped, limp-dicked, weak-ass, I don't know. If you think that JK and V is some hand-wringing, punk-ass bitches, that they're sitting here like, well, I don't know. I don't know what to tell you because that is not the BTS I appreciate, I like. I do not see BTS as victims of their success. They're human beings, yes, but I do not see BTS as some weak, no balls having dudes that are just sitting around going, I don't know, guys, that can't advocate for themselves. To be in this industry, you have to advocate for yourself because people will run over you. Yes, they're very, very business oriented. Very, very business oriented. Yes, too many fans want to stream and complain, right, V Marie? They do. They don't want to do anything else but stream and complain. And I'm like, I cannot believe that BTS got this far in their careers to be sitting around hand-wringing and like, I don't know. And, they would have been out of the industry a long time ago. They would have been broke a long time ago. The industry will chew you up and spit you the fuck out. Like just, gone. For those who don't have the will to survive. I cannot rock with a group or an artist that have no sense of business acumen, that are not intelligent. They don't stand on business. BTS stay on business all the time. All the interviews that I've seen, I'm like, oh, they staying on business. Oh, they staying on business. It's not my fault that people don't pay attention. I look at what they're doing. I'm like, okay, Jungkook went out and bought, I'm like J-Hope. J-Hope went out and bought property. He owns a lot of property. He's rented out a lot of property. He owns homes. He owns condos. He rent out the property. J-Hope stay on business. Sugar, his family, they own a real estate company. They make restaurants. Sugar's a part of it. They make studios, restaurants. They own property. They stay on business. I'm like, y'all, all of these BTS members and a lot of people in K-pop have side businesses, have companies with their families and everything like that. Like we see glimpses of that. But yes, best believe just because we don't know about it, it exists. These are business smart, business savvy people. They have lawyers, they have accountants, they have people to try to have helped them throughout the years to get there. But to sit there and act like they have no agency, or they're just weak, or they're just a bunch of punk ass weak dudes, I don't even find it. If that was the truth, I would be upset. I don't even find that attractive, like in a man. Why would I follow a group and follow and admire a bunch of fucking limp-dicked ass, weak ass dudes? Like why would I even want to be a part of that? Like why would I want to be like, oh, well, they're victims? I don't think Sugar is a victim of anything. Now the scooter incident that happened, even then, I was like, Sugar gonna bounce back. He gonna be okay. Even then, even though all the things against Sugar, I'm like, Sugar's not no weakling. Sugar is not no wilting flower. I'm like, it's gonna take him a while. It hurts, but I always had faith that Sugar was going to bounce back, regardless of what people were saying about him. But the idea, if I ever thought for 1 second that any member of BTS was weak, I wouldn't even be fans of the group. I was like, fuck this group. I'm moving on. I'm like, man, these dudes, And I'm like, these dudes ain't shit. Like I don't have that feeling. I see their strength since day one. I'm like, oh, they got some agency. Okay, they get it. I'm like, oh shit. I like these guys. That is one of my appeal for BTS is that their ability to survive and thrive in this industry and stay on business. I just like they wouldn't have made it this far. He did. He told me he wasn't bothered. Yeah, they don't know about us. Like, yeah, they not bothered. If I thought that they were this weak, that they didn't, because again, in the industry, you have to advocate for yourself. You have to. People, managers will run over you. Executives will run over you. Your family members and friends will run over you. Everybody is out to get something from you in the industry, in the K-pop industry, in the Western industry. So no, I don't see BTS as being weak. I see BTS as being men. They're adults. They're in their 30s. Like these are men, and these are grown men. I'm like with agency, and they understand the power that they have behind their names, behind their brands, behind anything that they do. They know that they're going to sell and make money. And so the idea that people want to victimize K-pop idols, I don't understand it. It just makes my head hurt. I don't psychologically understand that. I don't want to be a fan of somebody who's weak. I don't want to be a fan of somebody who is indecisive, weak, who don't stay on business. That is not my character. I'm attracted to strong men, to intelligent men. That's what I'm attracted to. I'm not attracted to weak men that I got to stand up there and I got to be the man in this relationship. I ain't trying to be the man in a relationship with BTS. I ain't trying to be the man. I'm not going to be like, well, I need to defend V. And unless it's something, a scandal break out, then yes. But about lines in a song, like people complain about how many lines in a song that the artists get, or how many minutes they in a music video. Bro, that's not even worth my time. I'm like, that. Why would I even focus on that as a fan? I'm like, do you really think that they give a shit about that? I don't think they really care about that. They just like, okay, next. Like, do y'all really think V care about how many seconds he was in the damn Hooligans video? I mean, come on now, y'all. Like fans care about this shit. Artists don't really care. They like, okay, whatever. Like, they may feel like, well, damn, I should have been in there more, but it's not something I don't think V is laying in his bed, cuddled up next to his $1,000, like pillow. I don't think V is cuddling up laying in his $20,000 bed, cuddled up with his $1,000 pillow, up late at night, losing sleep over the fact that he was only in Hooligans this much. Okay, I don't think he wakes up in a cold sweat, like, oh my God, I wasn't in Hooligans enough. Like, I'm like, come on now, y'all, come on, bro. Like, do y'all really think that? I'm sure V Love cuddles up comfortably with his $1,000 pillow in his $10,000 ass bed, surrounded in his nice penthouse, his multi-million-dollar penthouse. I'm sure he's okay with that. I'm sure he's like, I get him next time. Like, I mean, you win some, you lose some. I'm sure V has enough maturity to be able and to do what he has to do. So I have every utmost confidence in BTS in that way, that they can handle their business. People don't want to see them as men. Why? You expect fans to leave as this tour continues? Really, V Marie? I want to see BTS as men. I don't want to see them as little kids. I have a 16-year-old. What do I like? What do I be like as a grown-ass woman? I have a 16-year-old. I want to see them as men. I'm not trying to look, they're like, I like Cordis and I like Long Shot and I like N-Team and TWS, but I'm just like, okay, little boys, like, what we doing? Like, okay, little boys, that's great. Y'all are in a whole nother demographic than what I am liking. Like, I respect their musicality, these young groups, these young boys coming up. I respect them, but they have a lot of growing to do. They're teenagers. And they gonna act like teenagers. Cordis act like teenagers. Let Cordis be Cordis. Cordis is good for the younger demographic, the younger girls, the tweens. I can enjoy Cordis, but I understand that they are young. And so I don't, I treat them like they're my children. Like they're my sons. My son's 16. So I'm like, okay, Cordis, they're there. I pat them on the head and go now, y'all, go. Well, I'll support your next song. Go. Like, I'll watch their videos. But BTS, to me, if I'm going to follow somebody like that, if I'm going to spend $700, $800, $900 on some damn tickets. I better see some BAP say hip thrusting, and they better act like some damn men. I want a man to be a man. They can't stand that they men and won't be controlled. Oh my God, you're right. Is that what it is, V. Marie? I'm just shaking my head because I think you're right. I think, and I find that very disturbing. I don't want to control anybody. I don't want to control a girl group, a boy group, anybody. Not even my children. Eventually, they're going to grow up and they have their own agency and they have their independence and their own lives and their own personalities and their own paths to follow. I don't understand anything why a woman would want to control a male K-pop group, but I do see it in the fandoms, and that's why I'm not in fan spaces, because I find that very disturbing. I find it almost like some Epstein shit. Like it's disgusting to me as a woman my old ass age to want men to be cutesy and act like children. Like, I have a child. Why? I don't want a man acting like my 16-year-old. This is disgusting. I'm like, oh God, no, okay. Like, that's a child. I don't want a man to be a child. Like that's just disgusting. It's not even sad, it's just gross. It's like, oh, like, I don't like the comments that I read in some people's videos. Like, I watch people's YouTube videos, and the comments I read where they're calling like men baby girl. Like, even my son said that to me. My son, I'm a rarity as a parent. Why am I a rarity as a parent? My kids, they're gonna grow up and be their own people one day. But I just read certain, like, my son was like, why are K-pop fans in comments calling grown men like baby girl? Like, my son asked me that, and I told my son, I said, don't look at me, I don't do that shit. I'm like, I don't know. I'm like, I don't do that. Let's just grow up, I'm just like, ugh. Yeah, BTS grew up a long time ago. They're in their 30s. I'm like, okay. But yeah, my son was like, why do K-pop fans act like K-pop dudes are cutesy and like they're like little babies and stuff? Like, my son thought it was weird. Like, my son don't like K-pop at all. He thinks it's all strange. He's like, why would you even talk about a guy like that? Like, that's just weird. I was like, right. He's like, they're in their 30s, aren't they? I said, yes, son, they are. He's like, so why do they talk about them like they're girls? He's like, I don't quite understand. I was like, I said, shit, I don't understand either. I said, y'all got my son up here confused. He's like, I don't even like K-pop, but I just noticed, just the way they talk. It's just in comment sections. And I said, I told him, I was like, I know. I know. He's like, you don't talk like that, Mom. I said, honey. I said, I told my sons, like, well, you don't talk like that, do you? I said, honey, do I seem like the type of chick that would refer to a man as baby girl and pumpkin and sweetie? And he's like, no, Mama, you. I'm like, thank you, okay. I'm like, I'm the same mama that don't kiss and hold hands. And if a man approached me, I'm like, what the fuck do you want? What do you want? What do you want? I'm just saying hi. Fuck out of here. My attitude towards men is so awful. My attitude towards men is like, what you want? What? What do you want? I'm just saying hi. Fuck out of here. I was in some store the other day and the guy's like, hi. I'm like, hi. What else you want to say? Like, my whole attitude towards men is just stank anyway. But that's another topic for another video. So I'm very defensive and very like not friendly. Not friendly. I've been called not friendly a lot. But so I couldn't be in a comment section like, oh, baby girl, oh, look how sweet he is. Oh, he's so cute, he's so innocent, he's an angel from heaven. Are you fucking I don't even talk about my kids like that. Like, I'm like, kids, y'all good. I love y'all. We cool, but I don't even talk about my own kids like that. Much less a grown man I don't know of. I'm supposed to talk to them. I get very easily annoyed, girl. I'm just like, girl, y'all just don't know the half of it. I just be looking at men like, just extra defensive. And the thing about this, like for me, I dated a man. Oh Lord, let me stop. Let me stop because he might be watching. My ex watches my videos. But I dated a man. I mean, all look and look. We all know what it is. Look, let me talk to my ex for a second. Hold on, y'all. Y'all give me a minute. Okay, look, man. We all know what it is. My ex was a weak, not a weak kind of like I wouldn't do him that bad, but he was a very like chill, kind of subdued, non-assertive kind of guy, and that annoyed me. Like that's the part of our relationship that I did not like. And so I like my men a bit more with agency and strength and assertiveness and confidence. That's the kind of man that I am naturally, let me clean it up, naturally attracted. I don't want to offend my ex, but you know, because he cool, we cool and everything. But that she said we cool. Now look, we cool, okay? Like I ain't trying to drag him like that. But you know, part of the problem was that you know, because believe it or not, I am not an assertive person in a relationship. I'm not telling y'all, I'm the queen of Sunundry. Like, they be like, oh, Kiki, do you like me? And I'm like, you all right. I gotta go somewhere. Like, you ain't call me back. I'm like, was I supposed to call you? Was I? You said you was gonna call me. I'm like, I was on a live stream. That's my excuse right now while I'm getting text messages from somebody. He's like, what are you doing? I just sitting there like, right as we speak, somebody is messaging me, and I'm just like, I'm doing a live stream right now. That's my attitude. I'm doing a live stream right now. Like, you can't imagine telling Jim and we cool. You know what? Somebody, like some of y'all come on my live stream, like this is a diversion. Some of y'all come on my live stream and y'all are like, Kiki, what would you do if see Sugar? I would be like that lady who was on Jimmy, who was on that show on Jimmy Fallon, and she started screaming and running. That would be me. Like Sugar would approach me, and I'll be like first of all, my brain would be trying to process things really, and then I would just scream and run. Like I would just be like, ah! And I would just run. People are like, are you serious? I am the most weakest ass, punk ass bitch ever. If I saw BTS was standing in front of me, I would scream and run like a little child who got scalded. I would scream and I would run. Okay, that's what I do. Scream and run. Okay? That's how I handle things. Scream and run. Because that would be too much for my brain to handle. I'm serious. I'd be like, ah! And I would just run. Like I would just they'd be like, where you going? They'd be like, why are you running? Why are you running? Why are you running? Like that would be me. I'd be like, ah! They'd be like, oh shit, she halfway to Florida by now. Like, bye, girl, come back. Girl, you left your purse. I would leave my purse, my kids, my keys. I would just start running. Like I would freak out. Like my brain would short circuit and freak out. You just know when I tell a man we cool, I tell a man we cool all the time. Oh yeah, I'm never serious with men. I don't take men seriously at all. At all. I don't take men serious. And then I'm not an emotional person. So I'm not, y'all, you know, I understand that, you know, being with me, I'm not a touchy-feely kind of girl. Like I'm not a very warm person in a relationship. I'm warm with my friends, with my kids. I'm very loving. But with a man, I'm just like, I don't really like I had a husband that thought it was cute. I have to find a man who finds that attractive. Some men really like that. My husband thought it was very attractive. Like he thought it was very attractive. I was like hard on the I'm a Cancer. So I'm hard on the outside and soft on the inside. My husband thought it was very attractive. I was very like, okay, I guess. Honey, I love you and to be with you forever, forever. Here's my reaction. Are you sure though? Like, I don't really see the appeal here. Like, I'm the type of person that you be like, I love you, and I be trying to talk you out of it. I'm like, well, do you really love me? Like, really, maybe we need to think about this for a second. Like, what is love really? Like, shut the fuck. What is love really? You know, I mean, it's really a construct made in a society by the patriarchy. Love itself, romantic love, is full of misogyny. It's really a trick bag. It really is. So, when you really say you love somebody, you got to be sure, because I kind of feel like it's kind of like something the colonizer kind of gave us. Like, that is the answer. And then men will be like, you just ruined the moment. That's what I'm here for. Like, I'm here to overanalyze shit and try to talk you out of things. Like, I'm just going to talk you out of it. See, I don't think you really love me per se. I think you love the idea of me. Like, I really do. Like, I don't think it's real love. I think it's kind of like a pseudonym for the relationship that you really had with your own mother. I think that's what that is. Men be like, what the fuck? This is me all day. Like, I'm not, and then they kiss and I'm like, I was like, like, I remember one dude I dated, he liked to kiss on the cheek, and I'm like, okay, I'm like, he's like, you seem not to like that. I'm like, no, we're good. Just don't do it. Just don't do it no more. You believe Nam June? I believe Nam June is kissy kissy. I believe Sugar is like that, but I believe Nam June is kind of romantic. I think he's a romantic. I think Nam June is kissy kissy. Girl, that's me all day. I don't like to kiss. I don't like people like, let's hold hands. I'm like I'm like a germaphobe. So it's like I'll hold hands and I'm like, you fine? I'm good. You good? I'm fine. I'm fine. I'm good. I'm good. We're holding hands. Mm-hmm. And then I'm over here with the hand sanitizer afterward, like, this motherfucker. And then I'm like I'm a really hard kind of sometimes a hard person to deal with, like, in a relationship. But I'm cool. Everybody else like, oh, we love you. You're so funny, and I am. But then, like, when it comes to like feelings, I'm not really good at that with the men folks. I'm not really good with that. So again, I had the pleasure of having a husband who thought I was the most hard ass, and he thought it was so attractive. He's like, you're such a hard ass. I love it. That gives me my husband looked at me like a challenge. He's like, I see a problem in a challenge. My husband told me, he used to tell me all the time, I was difficult, I was a problem, and I was a challenge. And he said he was determined to crack that nut open. He was determined. He was like, I'm gonna get through you. He's like, you don't scare me. You don't scare me one bit. And I'm like, okay, whatever. And he was determined to try to get through. And after a while, after a couple of years, my husband would see another side of me that was very kind and sweet to him, because I would feel bad for him sometimes because he'd mope around. My late husband, he'd mope like a little baby. And I'm like, don't mope like, I was like, stop being a little bitch. And then he'd be like, but I was like, okay, fine, I'll give you a hug. Fuck, Jesus, okay, all right, calm down. My late husband, all right, let's just calm down, okay, calm down. I gave you your hug, now go on, go on, just calm down, okay? I'm trying to watch TV. We done hugging? God, I'm trying to watch America's Next Top Model. Did you see me? I'm watching it. Do you want a hug? Like, he'd be like, don't be so mean, baby. I'm not trying to be mean. So I learned to be a bit gentler with my husband, because his feelings would get hurt, over time. And I'm just like, okay, honey, all right. But then, like, my husband knew, like, nobody would go to bat for him like I would. Like, I'm the type of person, like, I'm the type of person to come out swinging. Somebody said something to my husband, what you say? What you say? What you finna do right now? What we finna do? What you say to my husband? What you say to my man? Oh, fuck you up. Like, I'm that type of person. And he like, get him, honey. I'm like, don't you dare talk to my husband like that, like, I'm very caretakerish, like, I'm very like that. And so my husband be like, my wife become swinging. I said, you talking to my husband like that? You disrespect my husband. Who you think you is? And so he like, you may not be very emotional, but I have my moment. But then with my kids, I'm like, me and my kids, we have a good relationship. I'm much more huggy, but they're my children though. Like, I can't help it. But a man, That's what gets me in trouble. That's probably why I've been single for so long. Is because I guess men expect performance a lot of times, and I just don't want. I don't want to do the dog and pony show. I tell men all the time, I don't do the dog and pony. I can't dog and pony. I'm just like I'm over here in the corner, like. Which brings me to my next point. So we're going to now have a quick conversation regarding Beomhan and Burning Sun and some other things and some tea. So sit back and relax because I'm going to share some things that has to do with K-pop fans. And y'all didn't hear it from me, but I think I just need to share some things that I've heard. Now, for a long time in my live streams, I've told y'all that the first time I started talking to people who work in the entertainment industry in Korea, they would tell me that idols would hook up with their fans. And I've brought this up quite a while. And I didn't believe it. I was like, I don't believe y'all. They're like, no, I'm like, they would tell me about fan meets where certain idols and certain groups that I have not named, but I've hinted at, and they're not the only ones, have hooked up with fans. Now, some of you guys may have heard this online, and some of you guys Lisa Murphy said this, some of you guys may have heard this. So this all ties into Beomhan. So Beomhan he was a trainee in 2021 on these survival shows. He became famous online, but again, this situation is not really about him, but he became really famous online. He has a huge following on Instagram. Some of you guys have talked about he's done live streams. He's being very problematic. He claims that while he was on that survival show, that he was mercilessly bullied. I don't know. I don't follow him. I don't know whether he was bullied or not. In 2022, in 2022 or 2023, he was trying to work out and trying doing things. There was two groups I think he was rumored to be a part of, but he didn't make the cut. So he decided to be a quote unquote solo artist. So he got a bunch of money together and scrapped things together. He does his music video. And the music video made the news because the music video was so dank. Like this music video, his dancing was very wooden. The video quality was cheap. The dancers were, it's not that bad. But you can tell that this is a self-produced music video. And he called it his debut. And so he debuted this music video and everybody started making fun of him. So it spread. He got more followers and a bit more famous. He came back and apologized about the music video because people thought he was going to do big things. And, it costs a lot of money to self-represent, you remember that? You remember this? Yes, I remember that. I can't with him either. I just couldn't with him either. So that's his claim to fame. So he started to do, would you wipe Sugar's kiss off? No, I would run and hide and cry, Ice Queen. Also, yes, he kept hyping his music video. I'm finna release music. I'm gonna be doing big things. So he is like his own hype man, right? So again, the only reason I even knew of him is because people were making fun of the music video and I wanted to go see for myself. And it's still on YouTube. You can go see it. And so he has a big following. He's a nice looking guy. He's like in his 20s. And I didn't understand why everybody was following this dude, but people would follow this dude. But people still do. And so recently there is a girl that came out that said that she had been dating him like off and on for 3 years. And she showed cacao messages and she showed stuff like that. So she claimed that he cheated on her with multiple people. And then he kind of like had a team, right? So he had a team. People would do these festivals. He would perform on stage. And again, there is varied opinions about how good he is singing. And people are saying, yes, he's problematic. He's got on live streams and said crazy things. I think low-key he has some kind of mental health issue. I think he's talked about himself having mental health issues or stuff like that. So again, it's inconsequential because I kind of funny, like him hyping his own self up. But he still has a large following, even though all this shit has came out recently about having him and a girlfriend. So there's some things I would like to say. Number one, I don't know how he met this girlfriend, but apparently, allegedly, this particular young lady, she is taken down. She posted a bunch of stuff on her social media, but she is taking it down, probably because he threatened to sue her or something like that happened. And so, oh yes, he has. He has said he had mental health issues. So she dated him allegedly off and on, and she posted screenshots. All this stuff is taken off, but of course, you know, it's the internet. So people screenshot and people have been reposting it. So allegedly, this young lady, and they blurred out her picture because she presented pictures of them together just to prove that yes, they were dating. Okay. So allegedly, this young lady, from what I heard, she was a fan of his. That she met him, that she had DM'd him on social media or whatever, or met him at a fan meet or something like that. And apparently she's fans of other idols or she knows other people in his social circle. Okay, I found that curious. And then apparently the girls that he cheated with are girls that he had met at fan meets. And he also has a Discord site that is run by fans. So apparently, allegedly, some of the people running his fan pages, including his Discord, apparently there's one or two of these females that are fans of his that he asked them or they asked him to run a fan page or several social media sites or several stuff like that. But Discord is the one that keeps coming up. Apparently he slept with several of these people. So again, I understand that he's small. He's not with an agency and everything like that. And so his reality is going to be different than a big time artist. Okay. But what I want to know, I just had a few questions. So I went out and asked people. I said, okay, I got a few questions. And then they also accused this guy of being an abuser, which I didn't really see that there was any proof that this dude like hit her or anything like that. He's just a jerk. You know, he's just a cheater. But so I asked people in Korea, I said, you know, I got a few questions. I said, number one, again, I'm still in disbelief, even in this situation, of how in the hell do fans get close enough to artists? And again, it's not like saying I don't believe it, because there's been other artists, mid-tier and small artists, groups that have Instagram and they have people that run their fan pages that don't work for them, but they just fans that set up. How do people get in? How do women, because we're talking about women, let's just take it there. Because this seems to happen more with female fans and male fans than the other way around. I don't see a lot of male fans hooking up with female idols. I don't hear about that a lot. But I do hear about a lot of male idols hooking up with female fans. So what I want to know, I asked them, how does this happen? It is inconceivable in my mind, okay? And I've seen this, and again, let me say something. I had a previous YouTube channel, and I came from the reality TV space. During the pandemic, when I got laid off, and people were sitting at home, I started watching, not all reality TV, but certain shows. So I've told the story before. There is a couple of reality YouTubers that do like 90 Day Lockup and Love After Lockup. Those are my two shows. I got on their shows because they would open up the floor for people to call in or to show up on video during their live streams or whatever. And that's how I got my claim to fame. That's kind of how I got my other name. That's kind of how I got the name Kiki, because that's really not my real name. But anyway, just the FBI, Kiki's not my real name. It's not what anybody calls me. Just people on the internet call me. But that's how I got my name. And so I had a YouTube channel where we talked about reality shows. And so I have talked to people, and I knew somebody, her and her boyfriend were on a reality show, was on a 90 Day Fiancé type of show. One of those 90 Day shows. I won't say which one, because there's a bunch of spinoffs. So I know somebody was actually on there, and I've talked about it a little bit before. And then I talked about how reality people, that I have 2 or 3 people that have interviewed people off of these shows and stuff like that. So I know that people can talk to fans and media and stuff like that through DMs and shit like that. But I've always wondered how, because there's been women and men who have DM'd reality stars and slept with them. FYI. So So some of you guys watch these reality shows, some of you guys don't. But there are people, there are women out there and men that have DM'd people that have been on reality shows, all kinds of reality shows, not just 90 Day Fiance, not just Love After Lockup, but a bunch of different shows like, Love Island, American shows, that they have DM'd these people and these people DM'd them back. I have experience in this. There are 3 dudes that have been on reality shows, and I won't say who they are, but I have DM'd them because one of my friends who's a big time YouTuber, she wanted me, she put me out there because she's married. She used to put me out there and she'd be like, you go DM this dude. And I said, who? This dude on, I won't say the show, blah, blah, blah show. And I said, what am I supposed to do? And she's like, just DM him. She's like, you're intelligent. You figured it out. I said, well, what do you want me to say? She's like, I just, it's like sometimes she'll be like, well, ask some questions and blah, blah, blah. Because they weren't really responding to her because they knew she was a big time YouTuber. And I wasn't a big time YouTuber, but they recognized this person. And so they wouldn't respond back to her because she does gossip on them. So they would respond to me. And I was amazed that these dudes on a reality show would even respond to me, but they did. Okay. So again, knowing that experience, but these are reality shows. These are not real celebrities. Okay. These are not K-pop singers or actors or actresses. But I was amazed because I was like, there's no way some dude on a reality show, this is their 3rd season on this damn reality show, that they're going to respond to me. They did. I had 3 or 4 of them respond to me. I had one of them that we were talking back and forth, just like we was cool. And I didn't understand where this was going to go or what was going to happen, but I thought it was really weird. He was a really good looking guy. One reality show guy that I used to message, if you guys don't know, this person has actually passed away. He passed away a couple of years ago, and we would talk infrequently off and on. And he was on several iterations of a particular reality show, and may he rest in peace. And we used to talk off and on. We used to DM each other. We even video chatted before. Nothing crazy, nothing strange, but we would, several reality star guys have tried to pick me up, and I've messaged them or chatted with them. So that's just my previous life. So I know that these things happen in the reality. But when people are telling me this happened in K-pop, I found it inconceivable. And I still kind of find it hard to believe, but it keeps creeping up. So I asked people, like, how does this happen? They were telling me, again, how this happened. This happens quite a bit. And I didn't realize how much this happens. So then we get into Burning Sun. So I watched another special about Burning Sun. And once again, I've seen many specials. I'm going to do a whole Burning Sun episode. So this all links together with Burning Sun. So Burning Sun, if you watch the BBC documentary, is one of the best. And I got stuck down the rabbit hole of Burning Sun the other day, and I watched another documentary. So in this documentary, Burning Sun Oppa, a member of Big Bang, Sungri, who is still out there, and the other Molly band of miscreants, okay, and the guy from FT Island, the other guy that was a singer-songwriter, the other dude, he had a gaggle of friends, okay, that he would go hang out with, and they have videos that you can see in this BBC documentary. I forgot how they got a hold of him, but it's just Singri out partying. He would do things for his birthday. They would rent out private VIP rooms, which I've told y'all before. This is kind of how it goes down in K-pop with the male artists. The female ones too, but particularly the male artists. They would rent out these VIP rooms in restaurants and hotels or whatever, and they would have their own private parties. That's kind of how they get away with and then, besides them drugging the women, not those women, but they would just be partying with women that they would invite. So my friend, we were talking about Burning Sun, and we were actually we're messaging each other, Kakao messaging each other. And I was talking about the Burning Sun documentary and the things that I was seeing. I was asking about Burning Sun because this person knows something that knows somebody that knows something about it. And then he posed a question that blew my mind the other day. He said, oh, you watching them tapes where they were out there partying and drinking and they're hanging out with women, regular women, not the women that at the club they were drugging. He said, so I have a question. I said, okay. He said, so Kiki, can you tell me what happened to those? He's like, where are those women? I said, what do you mean, where are those women? I said, these ain't the women. They said, they just hanging out with some females, they drinking or whatever. And now he was like, well, are those women their girlfriends? I said, no, because based on the messages that they were sending back and forth, These women weren't their girlfriends. They were just women they were hanging out with. So he says tell your subscribers on your channel when you see these burning sun videos of Sungri, he's out hanging out, and these women, and one woman he's dragging for a club. He said the question you need to ask yourself, where are these women? And I said, what do you mean? I said, they're not dead or hurt anything. He said, no, that's not what I'm asking. He said, so why haven't these women come forward saying that they had sex and they dated Sungri and is having sex with his friends? Because most of the women who they just dated, not the ones that they drugged at the club, have not come out. And I said, wait a minute, what? And he was like, and Sungri and his friends were out partying. They were partying with women all the time. So he was like, so where are these women at? Why haven't any of these women come forward and saying that they have dated this dude, had sex with this dude, or his friends after all these years? Because Sungri, believe it or not hard to believe, when he was with Big Bang, Big Bang did a lot of partying. So he was like, you mean to tell me after all these women that they done hosted at clubs and parties and private VIP rooms, none of these women have come forward over the years and said that they went with this man? I said, wait. He's like, so where are these women? I'm like, oh, okay. I'm like, wait. Yeah. He's like, so where are these women? I said, I don't know. He was like, ain't none of these women come forward. He been in the industry for how long now? I said, a lot of years. And he's probably done a lot of partying. Yeah. He was like, with a lot of women? Yeah. They're like all over China, Philippines, South Korea, Japan. They didn't have many different videos of them partying with women. 4 or 5 different women sitting around drinking. He said, Kiki, where are these women? I was like, bitch. He's like, doesn't it strike it odd to you that when people try to pretend that male idols aren't dating and they're out doing things, but then when you see videos like this, and the same thing with Beomhan, they were saying that he was out partying, he was in hostess clubs partying with different kind of women and having sex with kind of women. And so the same thing with Beomhan, they're like, okay, he cheated with these women. So my friend told me in the industry, he's like, so where are these women he cheated with? I said, I don't know. I said, they just said that he cheated. He said, but why aren't the women coming forward? So he said, out of all these idols that you think these idols ain't out here partying with women? I said, I know they are. But he was like, so where are the women at? I was like, they ain't said nothing. He was like, no. I was like, so are they paid women? So I said, what's going on here? He was like, a lot of the women that are out invited to these clubs and these bars with these idols, a lot of these women are fans. I said, what? I said, are you kidding me? And he said, no, do you think that they're going to rat out their Opa? No. And he said, do you think that they're going to stop their access to the idol that they admire? I'm like, no. He said, there's a lot of women that hang out with idols and party with them, and they don't say anything. They don't reveal nothing. Why is that? I said, because they're fans. He said, yeah, because they're fans. I said, what? I said, no, wait a minute. Hold on. He's like, oh, they fans. I'm like, are you serious? He like, yeah. He said, oh, they fans. I was like, what? I said, they fans? He like, yeah. He said, that's why they don't say nothing. He said, he said, they know they're not in a relationship. He said, all these women that sing and all these K-pop idols, his little band of friends they were sleeping with, hardly none of these women come forward. These women, their faces is blacked out in videos. They was drinking and their arms around them and they was touching their boobs and their booty and everything. He's like, so where are these women at? I said, so they fans. He's like, yeah. He said, that's why. He said, these ain't just He said, if they're not paid to be there, which if they're paid, they don't want to get in trouble with the Korean government. They don't want to be called as prostitutes. It's illegal. But he was like, a lot of these women aren't prostitutes. They're fans. And I was like, so that's why they don't come forward? Yeah. He was like, think about it. If you were a fan of a group and you got a chance to sleep with your idol, would you tell anybody? I said, I'm like, no, I wouldn't. He's like, see? He's like, would you tell anybody? I said, no, I probably wouldn't. I probably wouldn't say anything. And he was like, and then if this person calls you up every once in a while, he said, now take the BTS. He said, what if your favorite in BTS? What if Sugar came every time he come to Texas, he would come and see you? Would you tell anybody about it? No, because you want him to come back to you, don't you? Yeah. And he buying you gifts and you buying you things and taking you out. Would you want to stop that relationship? No. He's like, especially if you're a fan. Yeah. Would you tell anybody about it? No. I was like, no, I wouldn't. And he was like, because at the end of the day, regardless, you're still a fan. You want to protect that idol's image, even more so in South Korea. He's like, South Korea ain't like it is in the West. In the West, everybody be snitching. But he said in South Korea, there is such a legacy and a culture of silence in K-pop regarding idols hanging around fans and people who run fan pages that they don't tell anybody. And then they know that they're not dating the idol. They know the idol is not their boyfriend, but they will go out and party with them. They're basically idol groupies. And so a lot of these people are super fans. And so they're not going to ruin the reputation of their favorites. Because I wouldn't, and I was like, yeah, to be honest with you, I wouldn't do that either. And so he's like, that's how they get away with going and partying with these women. And then they'll tell the women, well, bring your friend with you, or bring your other friend with you, or bring your sister or whoever, because they want to party with an idol. And then he's like, in South Korea, there's such a culture of secrecy and silence around this type of behavior that it's not something that people really come out and out the idols about. He was like, that's how they keep getting away with it. And this has been going on for years. He's like, this is how it happens. He's like, I'm surprised that people don't understand what's really happening. Because I never thought, after watching these Burning Sun videos and Singri and the FT Island dude and the other people, yes, they were partying with women, but it never dawned on me that I'm like, well, yeah, where are these women? Like, they partying with a different chick every weekend. So where are they? Why aren't these chicks? Even when Burning Sun happened, where were these women? They never came out and said, yeah, I partied with Singri. We partied. He partied with me and my homegirl. None of them. I looked through all the articles. The only women who ever came out and said anything is the ones that were being drugged, the ones that got SA'd and stuff like that. But the ones that they were like really like hanging out with and weren't drugged, none of these women came forward. And he was like, that's what you're up against. And I said, so there's like a culture of secrecy and silence. He says, yes, there's a culture of secrecy and silence, especially in particular in South Korea, of that these women are groupies and they hang around idols and they have sex with idols and they don't ever rat them out. They'll take it to their graves almost, that because they want access to their idol. And a lot of times these idols will pick on women who are vulnerable, who need money, and they will shower them with gifts. They will give them things to keep them quiet. And then also they give them access. And a lot of times these women are so enamored with having this idol or idols pay attention to them that they will do anything to maintain and keep their relationships. And some of these women will keep these quote unquote relationships for years, that they will literally be at the beck and call of particular idols and hanging out with them and their friends or bandmates for years. They are basically a hyper version of an idol groupie. They're idol groupies. And so I didn't realize it was that deep into the Burning Sun thing. And that made me think of Beomhan and his situation, because the women that he allegedly cheated with, they have not said anything so far. They have not really come out and said, yeah, because they're groupies too. So the groupie thing is real strong that I just see a lot of people don't really talk about. And it's something that was right in front of my face, but it blew my mind. I'm like, holy shit. I was like, okay, so they're not, so they don't just, so they out here. And then he's like, yeah. He's like, they ain't gonna say anything. I was like, they were like, would you say anything? I'm like, no. Would I say anything? No, I wouldn't say anything. I honestly would keep, with secret, I would keep to my grave. I don't think, I would probably tell Jennifer, and that would probably be about it. I wouldn't even tell my children. Like, it would be something that I would, yeah, I could see them not telling their family members or friends, or not telling anybody, because it's like, okay, well, I don't want to ruin their reputation. Yeah, and yeah. I have talked about one night stands, but I not with idols, not with idols or anything like that. But that is a culture of secrecy that again, my friend put me game on, and I'm just like I said. So you guys understand the way I see male idols is in that vein because I'm like people think that like Burning Sun and the things that they do is like some aberration, but really it's the blueprint. What Sangri, from what I've been told, was not the only person that has ever did shit like this. Like that dude was like, look, I told you I got peep game this week. He told me, he was like, you think Sangri is the only person that had a club and was doing stuff like this? I'm like, no. He's like, of course not. He was not the only person that's ever thought of this idea and doing shit like this at a club. And then I heard that they're trying to reopen the Burning Sun investigation, but I was told from what people have heard is that he wasn't the first person to have a club doing this. And the only difference between him and anybody else is that he made it high profile because he was part of Big Bang and his friends were idols. But other than that, other people who own clubs, I've heard that have done similar shit like this where they were procuring women for investors and business people and politicians and policemen and stuff like that, that they ain't the only club like that. I heard that Burning Sun took it from another club that I won't say the name of the club, and that was the blueprint for Burning Sun. They invent this shit themselves. They got it from somebody else. Somebody told them what was happening at another club, and they just took it and amplified it. But what I heard is that this is not nothing new, that there are other clubs that may be doing this type of shit now, and not like Burning Sun where they were like drugging women, but where they would bring women to VIP sections and get them liquored up and then and drop them some money and have them sit with these investors or businessmen or whoever in these VIP rooms. Again, I've been told that this is not nothing new, that Burning Sun did not invent the wheel, that Burning Sun didn't really invent too much of any damn thing, that they took shit that was already happening in South Korea and Seoul, and they just did it their way. And they kind of made it a more of a system, and they amplified it. But I was told that Burning Sun is they didn't invent anything. And so I thought that was interesting while we were having our conversations about Burning Sun. But it's always fascinated me. And I really got to do research because I want to know who are these women. I want to know more about the K-pop groupies. And I told my friend, I said, if he run into one, tell them to message me because I want to interview this person and talk to this person and listen to their experiences. There is a bunch of people, not a bunch, but people have done articles and done videos and things online, but I want to hear it straight from somebody who lives this type of lifestyle. Because again, in my mind, I cannot fathom me ever getting on social media and messaging an idol for anything. Like I would be too scared to do anything. So I want to know, how exactly does this go down? Because it is inconceivable to me that you're just going to message an idol and then they're just going to message you back. But we hear stuff happening like this all the time. So it's not like this is a lie or something weird, but there's stories out there of idols, whether in music or actors, DMing and hooking and getting in trouble because they've DM'd people, that they've returned messages for people and people. I've never DM'd anybody. So I said, I really got to know how this works. Not saying that I would try to repeat it. I'm not that bold. I'm an introverted person, but I just want to know straight from somebody, how exactly does this work? And I understand that there are people out there creating fan pages, and that's how they get connected to the idol, because they're creating fan pages and Discord groups and stuff like that become very popular or very high profile, or some of them actually work with the idol with these fan pages. I've heard about that too. Or some of them actually work with the agency as well to manage these fan pages. So I just want to know how this works. I'm drugging women is not new. Yeah, Burning Sun got too big and too loud, and they was doing too much. They was doing way too much. They were dragging women out of clubs. They beating up that dude. They just started to do too much. They were getting too greedy and too overzealous with it. Yeah, it's just a drop in the bucket about, and then some of these clubs, like I've said, are very high profile clubs that idols actually go to. Idols and rich people and famous people and politicians and business people actually participate and go to, like the hosting bars, scenes, and all that. You know, there are many different reasons why I like, the drugs knock you out. But besides the women that were being drugged and everything like that, I want to know about the women who willingly went with Singly and his friends, and whether and sometimes, like I said, these women just partied with them. They didn't have sex with them, but some of these women did. Some of these women had sex with everybody there. So that's another thing that I thought was part of the equation that people don't talk about, is that there will be like 5 or 6, 7 dudes and 2 women, and they will pass them around like a buffet platter, and they will do all of the guys. And like I said, I'm not shocked because this happens in America on a day-to-day basis. Like, I'm not shocked, but what I'm shocked about is the secrecy behind it all. I am floored that these women don't come out and rat out these idols, and it never dawned on me that these women don't, and why they don't. Like, it just never hit me. I watched these videos and heard these things, and they're partying with women and renting islands and have women running around in bikinis, inviting women to resorts. And then my friend was like, "So where are the women at?" I was like, "What?" Well, I'm like, "Damn. Yeah, where are the women they invited to the resort?" They were like, "These women ain't never said nothing." And I'm like, that's right, because you would think, because the whole notion in K-pop with fans is that no, these idols don't date, because if they date, it would get out to the public. That's why when people be talking about these dating rumors, why I just sit there and roll my eyes and just get annoyed and just be sitting here seething, because I'm like, y'all, this is not how this go down. I'm like, if an idol really wants to be with somebody, they're going, if they want to party with women, they're going to party with women. Like, there is nothing to stop them from partying with women secretly. So all these clues and these where's Waldo, and this person was at this bar, and this person was at this club, and this person wore this tracksuit, and like, all of that shit, the idols really be laughing about. That's what my friend told me. They be laughing about this shit because 9 times out of 10, it's not true. They don't be dating. Fans be thinking they put things together, and I'm like, but idols are so slick with it that they don't ever get outed out. They were like, if they really need to go out and party and drink with somebody, they were like, if I need to party and drink, all I gotta do is cacao message, whatever her name is. All I gotta do is message J-Woo and pick up the phone and talk to Min Xiao, and that's all I gotta do. They like, if I want to have sex and go party with somebody, they're not gonna invite them to their homes. They're not gonna be out at a bar with them, like where it's obvious. They're gonna anonymously, they book rooms and book hotels and book hostess bar VIP rooms in their friend's name, sometimes their manager's name, sometimes an anonymous name. And the bar and the club and the facility and the restaurant will usher them in the back door where they're not seen. And they will come in the back way, and they will go to the VIP rooms in the back, and they will be back there with girls, and they would be drinking and eating and everything. And nobody will even know that they're there. There are bars and clubs and restaurants in South Korea that, first of all, they don't allow any, some of these bars that these idols go to are the ones that don't allow any foreigners, because in South Korea, there are bars and clubs and establishments that don't allow any foreigners. And so they go to these really low-key, low-profile kind of places where it's not a bunch of people and a bunch of, like a big crowd of people from all over. And they come in the back rooms, and they have private VIP rooms that they rent out for a couple of hours or whatever. And they bring girls back there. Or, like I said, I've said it before. I said a good manager is going to procure women for you. I've heard about this all the time. People are like, well, the manager, part of their job is to procure women. And I was like, I said, so they're not running schedules and picking up clothes? They like, yeah, and food. They're like, yeah, they doing that too. But for some idols and some groups, part of the job of the manager is to procure women discreetly. They will call the manager and be like, hey, I'm finna give you the number to such and such. You call such and such and tell her to meet me at this place at this time, blah, 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 blah. Or they'll tell the manager, here's person's name and telephone number, address. Could you go pick up such and such and bring her back to my home? Or could you go pick up such and such and I will meet her at this hotel or this club or whatever. So they can't see the lady and the idol together. Like they're not going to be filmed and seen together. Like that's just dumb. They know how to run in secret. If they're going to see another idol or a female, they're going to either she or he, if they're famous, are going to use their managers as a way to interject into their lives. They're going to use their managers to help transport them, to pick them up, to drive them around. So they're not going to be in their own car driving. Like that just doesn't happen. If they want to be discreet with somebody and date somebody discreetly, they use staff and management to make that happen. It's not hard. It's not hard to get a hotel room or something in somebody else's name. It's not that hard. Especially if you've been in the industry for quite a while, you understand how this kind of goes. But yeah, like I am always amazed that people are trying, that the narrative with K-pop fans, these idols are sitting around at home like a monk on Friday night. And I'm like, nah, Korea is a very sociable country, and that applies to idols. A lot of the idols like to go out and drink and eat food and be sociable and hang out with their friends and their families, just like anybody else. And then a lot of times when they're hanging out with their friends and family, just like any man, you want female company. You don't want to sit around with a bunch of dudes like, okay, this is nice. Somebody need to invite some females. Do you know some females? Yeah, I know a few. Okay, well, call that one friend, that one girl you went to college with, and call her friend and tell her that we want to hang out. Like, I would think that people would understand after everything that's happened with Burning Sun and Moon Tail, and all these idols have been called to task for various skivvy, weird behavior with women, that everybody would kind of understand and let the veil fall as to what their idols are really doing, and that they are men, and that they are hanging out and partying and drinking. Not all of them, because some of them are much more like, I don't want to do all that. I just want to sit at home and just chill. But some of them do every once in a while, not every week like Big Bang Oprah was out here doing, but they do once in a while, want to go hang out and have female companionship. And it's not necessarily they're sleeping with them. Sometimes they just want to be around women. Like, okay, invite some girls, just like any other dudes I've ever known. Well, we want to sit around a bunch of men. Well, go invite some girls. We want to have some female companionship. You get a little flirty, get a little drinky. You play some games. That they want to hang around females. Like they want to hang around the opposite gender. Like just like anybody else does. And I think that after all these years that people would kind of understand what's kind of happening, that it is like the NFL and the NBA, Yeah. Sounds like a book that needs to be written. It definitely, I told my friend, I said, it definitely, that he needs to write a book, but, he don't want to lose his job. But it definitely happens. But like I said, just like anybody else, men, if they're straight, want to hang around women. They like, and especially when you're dealing with young men in their 20s who are young, good looking, virile, they want to hang around women. Nobody wants to sit around, okay, we a bunch of dudes, like we didn't hung out a lot with us. Sometimes you want to go hang out with the guys and that's cool. You go hang out with the guys, you go on vacation with the guys. But then sometimes you're like, man, this is kind of lame. Like, man, we need some women, like, oh, okay, well, here, you call somebody. Can you call somebody, get somebody over here? Can you call somebody? Yeah, I got somebody. Let me call her and see if she's available. Just like any man in any situation, they want to hang around women, especially in South Korea, where it's very, like I said, their cultural is very sociable. So it's like, okay, they don't want to sit around a bunch of dudes all the time. Let's get some women here. Well, he's a little flirty. None of that to happen, but it's like, just like I remember when we were young, me and my female friends would hang around and you'd be like, hey, can you call your boyfriend and see maybe they got some friends? Like let's get some fellas up in here. Like, maybe we can all hang out and party. And that's what we would do, would hang out just like regular young people do all the time in South Korea or anywhere else. And so I always tell people that's always in the back of my mind is that I try to see K-pop singers as men, because in my back of my mind, that's how I see idols. I see idols through Oh, they're out. Like what happened with Burning Sun and that situation was awful. But I watched all those videos, the numerous videos of Burning Sun Opa and his little friends, and they were out having a good time. And it was nothing nefarious or weird, but it was just having a good time. And then the girls that would always be with them. And some of the girls were the same girls, and some of the girls were just different girls. And it's just like, okay, so these girls ain't came. These girls ain't gonna say nothing. They were hanging out with K-pop idols, and it's proximity, and they want to be in proximity to these idols. Not like anyone twisted their arm to be there. You know, it's not like they're turning around signing NDAs. They do want to be there. And then I think to myself, if I was hanging around BTS, would I rat them out? I probably wouldn't. I know I wouldn't. I wouldn't rat them out because it's just like, okay, I don't want to ruin their careers. They haven't done anything to me. So why would I try to ruin someone's career if they've always been good to me? They bought me things. They've taken me out. Like this person is good to me. So I'm not going to say anything. And the same thing with Beomhan about him having a quote unquote girlfriend off and off. Some people were saying online that she wasn't even a girlfriend, that she was just some chick that he was messaging, that he went out with. He obviously had affection for or whatever like that. But as to whether they had this deep, significant relationship, I don't really know if he would consider it. And reading the messages, it just sounded like he was playing a lot of games with her and going back and forth with her, but it didn't seem like he was really in love with her like she was in love with him. And sometimes that do happens and people get angry because they date an idol or hang out with them a lot or go on vacations with them, and now they expect to be the girlfriend or they want to be the next wifey. And then when they are out with other women or stop talking to them, then they get butthurt, like all women. Even that one actor got called out for making a baby. Yeah, with the model. Yeah, he met her at a party and hooked up with her, and he didn't want to marry her. Yeah, and expecting them to be virgins, it's not realistic. BTS concert in El Paso was delayed by almost an hour. Why? What happened? Yeah, what happened? But yeah, I have a bunch of anecdotal stories. And then like I said, I would say always this. Would y'all do that? Would y'all, like I said, who are these women out here DMing famous people? Because again, not just K-pop, but I hear this all the time in other places as well that I've heard. So my question has always been, who are these women DMing famous people? The only time I've ever DM'd anyone semi-famous, again, is reality stars, because again, I was doing this for a friend. It wasn't doing like I was doing. I was nervous as hell. I was staring at my phone for about 20 minutes going, okay, what do I say? And I was agonizing over DMing a reality show person because I was like, well, what am I going to say? And why in the fuck would he ever message me back? So I sat there for like an hour going, well, what do I say? Hey, hi. Oh, that sounds stupid. No, I can't just say hi. Or I saw you on this show. Okay, that sounds lame. I was like, so I agonized over it for quite a while before I DM'd this person. And I didn't think for a million years this person would ever respond. But a couple of days later they did. And I was always amazed about that. But I'm like, who are these women that are DMing famous people? I want to know. I want to know who are you. If you are DMing famous people, let me know. Expect. Why is it I want to know why the BTS concert was delayed. Oh, that's a long time. Oh, Lord have mercy. I hope nothing seriously went down. But who are these women? I told people a lot throughout they got major balls. Yeah, I'm scared too. Oh, you said the Light 6 said check it. The show started at 9 something and the show started at 8. Oh, the fans were still outside coming in when the concert was beginning. They only had 2 entrances into the stadium. Oh, okay, so it took the fans a while for them. Well, they should have, she said, I need to DM Jimmy. I don't need to be giving y'all no ideas. Don't y'all be sitting there talking about, I'm finna DM my Oprah right now. Shit, let me get off this live stream. If you are DMing your idol, At least come back and tell us how it went for you. If they respond, please tell me. Come back and be like, okay, let me tell you what. Let me tell y'all what happened, because I want to know who I have never in my life ever thought for me to DM or message a famous person. Like I've never. That has never entered my mind as an option for my life. So if anybody on here does it, please give us the tea, because I want to know. I have never. I like I said, I wouldn't even think that would even be something that I would be brave or bold enough to do. Much less I would think that they would ever respond. Like, why would they even respond? I wouldn't. So I guess a lot of people do it. I don't know. Like I said, I don't know anyone who's done this, and I'm dying to find somebody who has. And I'm going to DM Sugar, but I know he probably would never. You know, Sugar probably would never. Am I making I'm making you make bad decisions? I need some of y'all to make some bad decisions, because I want to be the person to be like, I know somebody that DM'd a famous person. Because out of everybody that I've talked to, I have not met a person who was actually DM'd like someone famous. Period. Like, period. K-pop or not. Y'all go ahead and DM Sugar and see how that go for you. Come back and report it, y'all. Let me know. Y'all be like, I DM Sugar. Let me tell you. He responded. He read it. So I want to know. Again, and then a lot of times with these idols and famous people, they have assistants and they have media people that are checking their DMs and checking their messages and their comments, and they have people doing that. And I don't, they can check the stuff themselves, but a lot of times but I want to know, y'all, please come back and tell me. Please come back and tell me if you guys are gonna go out there and experiment. I want you guys to go out and DM. And you know what? I tell people, here's what y'all need to do. Y'all need to find idols that aren't very popular and go on and oh man, okay, wait a minute, hold on. Should I tell this story? Anyway, I'm debating whether or not to tell this story. Should I tell this story? I'll come back to that. Anyway, or go into Weverse, boy. I'm telling you. I want to know. I don't know how to be a groupie. They want out themselves. Y'all can look, you can secretly message me. I'll keep your secrets. Y'all can remain anonymous. This is my first K-pop concert, so I've been getting my homework. We're trying to get there 4 hours early. What type of bag I should get? She's like, I'm not being turned away. You know, one time I did bring a bag to a K-pop concert. Well, I put something in my bag and they made me throw it out. I think I had a bottle of water or something. Y'all talking about Yes Do Tell. Okay, so there is a group that's on Weverse. I'm gonna say what group it is. I don't think that, no, they're not a HYBE. I don't think that, it's not like a HYBE group. It's not a famous one. But there is a smaller group that is on Weverse that I have heard through Grapevine that they're fans that do DM them and wait, they like, you know how on Weverse they have like comment sections and they, the idols can post pictures and people can comment. I heard that one of these fans, they always comment on this on these idols pages, and they've been fans for quite, and it's a smaller group. Then I heard that somebody had DM one of the members, and the members did message them back. Is it play? No, it's not playing. It's not the virtual reality people. I do know something about. Wait a minute. Was that dreaming? Anyway, Okay, about plays. I heard, and I hope it wasn't a fever dream. I heard or read somewhere that a member of Plave got outed, and I don't know who told me this. I'll go back, but anyway, I heard or somebody told me that a member of Plave got outed. That people found out who the member of Plave was, and that they reached out to this person or whatever. I gotta go back and look, because I swear to God, I know. But yes, if you're on Weverse, there are a bunch of smaller groups on there. There is a smaller group that's on there that doesn't have like a large following. And they've only been around for maybe a couple of years, like 2 years, maybe. And they're not a very famous group. But I heard that like some fan had DM'd one of them and they actually responded her back, and they were having a conversation with this person. Now, as to how far this conversation went, I can't tell you. But it got, from what I heard, it got pretty casual with their conversation with this young lady, and she was, and they were DMing back. As to what happened after then, I ain't heard after them, but I heard that the idol got in trouble. That the idol got in trouble with their agency. The agency told them to stop DMing the fans. And apparently, this particular idol in this particular group, and I know what group it is, they were DMing several young ladies who they would ask them to send pictures and shit like that, and they would ask them for their Instagram or their social media accounts, and they would DM them on social media. It wasn't a scandal like in the news, but this is just allegedly what I heard. And so the agency had to talk to this person and be like, look, you can't be DMing the fans. And then they were trying to say that it was just innocent. It was just them way of connecting to fans. So again, I'm not saying that this person was saying anything weird to the girls. I don't think it was like that. I think they were just talking to them. But I think it to the point where this person's conversations were getting more into like the casual realm of like they were cool, and then the agency was trying to tell them that this could be actually dangerous, and which could be, they could be doxxed, they could be, a lot of things. Like, you don't know who you talking to, especially when you ain't met the person. But that's what I heard, child. That's what I heard. There's a group, and apparently, child, if you some of these groups, if you Weverse message them, they would apparently they will respond. And again, I'm putting the call out there. If you feel like you need to go to Weverse, Instagram, X, and you need to slide in someone's DMs, please do it. And then come back and tell me, especially a smaller group or a smaller idol. Please try. Like, I want to try this as an experiment, but I'm too much of a chicken shit, y'all. Like, I am way too scary. Like, I do be trying to be like, hey, daddy. Because there are, like I said, there are a bunch of smaller groups out there. There are a bunch of single, there are a bunch of idols that are not in a group, that are very low key and not, whether they on Weverse or wherever. I just wonder. I was like, who is running their fan pages? Who is running their social media? And I was wondering, like, I always see these smaller artists, and I'm like, I wonder if people over there sliding their DMs trying. Groupie tells, girl, I need some groupies to come and hit me. You searching Weaver like everybody. What is the first letter in the name? She like, give me a hint, girl. Just give me a hint. What is the name of the group? The group. Oh, I can't say the group, because if I say the letter that the group, y'all will immediately know. It's a very small group. Let's just put it that way. It's not Play. Play was really not that small. Play was kind of big, but it is a male group. It is a group that's been around for a couple of years, and it is a small group. And I'm sure y'all are like on Weverse looking like, okay, small groups. And they are kind of young. Yeah, they're probably in their late teens, maybe early 20s. And it is a group that I promise you that you probably never heard of. I have never seen any of their music on the charts or anything like that. I know that I don't even know where they tour. They have a YouTube channel, I think. But they're you're not going to say, no, the Rose is huge. Does it start with a B? No. But the Rose is huge. They're a big group. The Rose is a big, big group. But yes, they are on Weverse. But I promise you that you would see the name and be like, who? Because it's a group that nobody talks about. I don't, like I said, I don't even know if they've been on, I don't think they've even been on tour. No, at least not that I know. I can't say that. Well, I can't say that because I don't know enough about them. But that's all I heard through the grapevine. And somebody told me, and I was like, what? And they were like, yeah. And then I heard that one of the members of Play got outed. I don't know where I read. I don't know if somebody told me that. I don't know if I read that. I don't know if I heard that. I can't remember. It seems like a fever dream. But I think somebody told me that and then somebody went on this person's social media and messaged them and was like, I don't even know the name, are you blah, 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 Play or whatever? And I think the person responded, was like, who are you? Da, da, da. And then they came back and said, like, after messaging came out and said that they were such and such a Play. So, yeah, the members of the Rose, they in their 30s. Did the Rose just break a rumor? I saw. Is there a breakup rumor? I gotta go see. I just saw the Rose last year. I love the Rose. I saw them last year. I hope they didn't break up. I had to go see it. I haven't seen a rumor that if they broke up, it would be pretty big in South Korea. Oh no, yeah, because I was gonna say, how many members are in the group? I don't even know how many members are in this group. It's not that many. It's not like 8 or 9. It's less than 7, I would say. I'm not quite sure. But it's less than 7. But I promise you it's a group that you've never heard before. If I said the name, y'all be like, what? But yes, one of the members allegedly was DMing some fans and it kind of got out there. And the agency told them don't do that. But I want somebody to slide in somebody's DMs, and I want y'all want to come back and tell me how it goes. Because again, I want to know who are these women that do this. Because again, I hear all the time about women doing this for reality stars, doing this for regular stars, doing this for artists, singers in K-pop. I want to know how much this happens. And nobody, I promise y'all, I'm going to research. I am going to research because I want to know who are these women. I want to interview one of these women and sit her down and talk to her anonymously. And I want to know what is her experience and how in the hell did she get an idol to even respond to her? Because I would never think in a million years that an idol would respond, but we keep hearing about it. Just like there's that actor that some chick in Germany slid it in his DMs, and then now she's suing him, accusing him of sexually harassing her and all of that. I forgot the name of the actor, but he's a pretty well-known actor from what I've been told. And so some fan slid in his DMs and he dumbass responded to her back. Yeah, they said, let me shoot my... I don't know what kind of women do this. Who in the right... It's 4 members. I have to look it up because I don't follow this group like that. I don't follow the group. But I know who they are, though. I'm getting a name starting with a DX. No. Good night, Marie Miller. Go get you some sleep. I hope you had fun. I hopefully the El Paso. Marie Miller was in Tampa. She's gonna go to sleep and have BTS dreams tonight. And I gotta wait all the way to August before we see BTS. I gotta wait all the way to August, y'all. You getting a name to start with DX? I know that group, but that's not it. That group is another anonymous story I did that it's about that group. So the group you're talking about with the name DX is the group that had a member that disappeared. And some of y'all have heard me tell that story before about a member of a group that allegedly here's my kid yelling. She said, I have some time to wait, But yeah, that group, what you talking about, Goldwyn, is the same group that if you look into them, they had a member disappear. And I mean, he left the group, and then right around the time that the member disappeared is the same time that story was released about a CEO who actually beat a 17-year-old K-pop person and that put him in the hospital. That is the same group, unfortunately. And ain't nobody seen that kid since. So you see them in 2 weeks in Sanford? Disappeared, yeah. Yes. I look, you're lucky because I gotta wait all the way to August. I mean, come on now. Like, come on, y'all. I ain't gonna make it. I'm trying to make it. I really am. I'm trying to be patient. I'm not trying to spoil things. But geez, oh God. We gotta wait all the way to August. Yeah, Gemini, he didn't disappear, but he allegedly got sick with COVID, and then after that he left the group. And anyway, I ain't heard about him since. So yeah. What is happening? I want a live stream. What are you doing? Oh, Lord.
You're hitting me.
Ain't y'all supposed to be moving boxes?
I'm sleeping. So.
They claim that they sleeping. You're supposed to be moving boxes. No, I have not heard about the Chinese actor that fell out the window. It was all in the news for about a month and a half. I even told my kids about it. And I have not heard any kind of. I oh wait a minute. I did hear something last week about somebody that was supposed to be there during the night of that party that he fell out the window, and that I don't know. I don't know what I barely heard a blip. Is that somebody that was supposed to be at that party was upset on social media because he was saying that people leave him alone and there was some kind of update, but I have not looked at the updates. I need to look at the updates. But yeah, it's been, yeah, it's like that's all we heard for months and then now nothing. It just shows you how quickly things can be covered up. Um just quickly. I mean, that was a story that was everywhere. I talked about it, a lot of content creators talked about it, and then now nothing. I mean, I don't know if or when if the guy will ever get justice, you know. Do you think it's time to get off? Day 3 in Tampa and Las Vegas this month. Oh my God. I'm ready. I wish I could go to multiple venues. Yeah, Yumin Long. Yeah, that's him. Daphne, go to sleep. She's like, I'm sleepy. It's time for me to get on this live stream. But I'm fixing to get off this live stream too. But I just thought I'd dish some tea and then put that out for y'all to give y'all some food of thought when y'all thinking about these male idols and what the industry is and the socialization and the abject secrecy that is in the industry that people just underestimate. There is a shroud of secrecy in the K-pop industry. There is a reason why nobody has written any exposés or any books or anything like that. One day, I hope, and I'll leave you guys with this. It is my pure, unadulterated hope that one day somebody in the industry will come out and write that book, and it has to be somebody powerful enough to where their reputation isn't touched by South Korea anymore, where their businesses and their livelihood is not affected by the fallout, because there will be fallout. It will be nuclear. But I keep hope open that in my lifetime, somebody is going to write that book. Somebody is going to expose the K-pop industry. And when that person does, it's going to change the K-pop industry forever. And you heard it from me first. I don't know if somebody ever will write that book, but I think in my lifetime we will see it. Somebody's going to write that book. Somebody's going to get hurt enough and need and feel incentivized to really write that book, because no one's written a book exposing the industry. And it's the same thing in the United States. Our view of the movie industry and the music industry was so very different until the 80s came and people started writing books about the industry. And once people started writing books about the industry starting in the 80s, people really was like shook when all these well-known celebrities and singers and people and these researchers, when they started coming out with these books about Hollywood and then it was just a few here and there, but really in the 70s and 80s it really started to ramp up where you see more biographies about idols, I mean about stars and singers, and then all these series started to come out, and then people really started to see what Hollywood really was, and then people started to see what the music industry really was. And so I'm just ready for somebody to write that tell-all book. And in K-pop, it's just inevitable. Like as K-pop becomes more globalized, as things become bigger, it's just going to be a matter of time before somebody who is like, I've made all the money I can make. I've done all the things that I needed to do. I don't care what Korea thinks about me. That's fine. I don't even live there. No way. Maybe they're going to relocate to somewhere else and they're going to write that book and they're going to expose the industry, and all of y'all, everybody, even me, is going to be floored and shocked about what is going on. Because over the years, we've seen articles and people do YouTube channels and things have coming out here and there. But ain't nobody really exposed this thing. Like this thing needs to be blown wide open in order for it to change. And one day I hope, and I feel it coming soon, that somebody's going to be like, let me write a book and tell you what happened to me. And y'all are going to be shocked. Y'all are going to be shook as the level of craziness, deprivation, secrecy, and y'all are going to be shook to really see. Y'all are going to be like, this is really what's going on in business. This is really what's going on in business. And so hopefully they will. Yes, the secrecy allows all of these things to keep continuing. All of these people, these executives, these behind the scenes people are a lot of them are awful. A lot of the idols are truly awful fucking people. Like they're not good people. A lot of them are narcissists. A lot of them are misogynists. a lot, again, with the burning sun and the moon tail and all the things that we would see, y'all would think that fans would be like, oh, this is what happened, but then y'all don't. Y'all just go back to, oh, the idols are innocent and da-da-da. I was like, but burning sun, like all the Moon Tail was out here like literally doing them in. Like Moon Tail and his friends, they took a Chinese national tourist and they took her and got her drunk and essayed her for an hour. Like, what, as if this was the first time he did it, which I don't think it was. And so I'd be like, you think he the only one out here taking foreign women home and essaying them? Come on now, y'all. Come on now. I said, y'all do understand that Korea has a huge problem within their society of misogyny and male abuse and all this kind of stuff. And that doesn't, it applies to the idols as well. They're being raised by families who, and a society that has this attitude that women are disposable, especially when they come in the industry and they think that women are transactional. And so I want people to, I want a book to expose this so people could be like, oh, so the male idols are doing what? That's how they really think about women? Yes. If I would tell y'all when we get off this video, go and watch them Burning Sun videos. Like anytime I have any delusions, I go back and watch them Burning Sun videos. I go back and watch them partying and drinking and the cacao messages that how they talked about women like they were dogs. These dudes talked about women like they was nothing. Yeah, I'm finna go out with this one. Yeah, I'm finna go have sex with that one. Yeah, she gonna put out tonight. Yeah, she gonna do me and the whole and all of us tonight. Yeah, well, she know how to do this and she know how to do that. And this one, you know, she real tight. And like the way they talked about women all the time was disgusting. Like they were pieces of meat. And I'm like, well, to me, that's how that's how men talk about women when they're together. And it doesn't change with idols. Like that's how they talk about women. Like that's a lot of men, this is how they talk. And these idols, the way they talked about women and which one they was finna do and oh, they finna switch up and I want to be with this one next week and you gonna be with that. Like the way that they talk, I was like, this is, and then people telling me, well, you know, that's not the aberration. That's kind of how they talk about women. And I was like, really? They're like, yeah, that's kind of how all of them do it. And so my idea is, I love the music and I love the looks and I love the illusion of it all. But I understand that this is an illusion. That this shit ain't real. I understand that behind closed doors, when they not on camera and what they doing, I don't know what these idols is out here doing. In my mind, they all out here doing bad shit. Not anything illegal, but to me, they all out here partying and drinking and hanging out with women. Because again, that's how I was explained. People have explained it to me. Well, most of them do that. It ain't nothing different. Most of them cheat on their girlfriends. Most of them is dating 2 or 3 different women. I was like, really? They're like, yeah. This is how they do it. This is how they get away with it. This is the secrecy. This is the shame. This is the women keep quiet and they don't really say anything. They have all these groupies, just like they do in the West. And I said, okay, that's just like the West. Yeah, but they just keep it. And so that's how I see male idols. I don't have any delusions. I look at them and I'm like, yeah, y'all, okay, you, okay, yeah, yeah. So that's kind of how I see it. It's a very balanced way of seeing things because, again, talking with people, the more I know, the more or less I'm like, oh man, like, ick. Like I'm like a lot of male idols give a lot of the females an ick factor. And I told y'all, I said in the idol, there's sex pests. There's just all kinds of just dudes that just don't know how to talk to women and they just weird and a lot of weirdos. And I'm just like, ooh, a lot of women are like, I don't do talk to no idol man. They weird. I'm like, a lot of the women say that they weird and they come on too strong and they try to pressure you to go to bed with them real quick. I hear a lot of that too. They're like, that kind of happens. They like in a hurry. They try to hurry up and push you along and destroy your boundaries and all that kind of stuff. They don't want no boundaries. You tell an idol dude, you know, I'm not, you know, maybe we should get to know each other. Then they'll ghost you because they're not looking to get to know you. They're looking to take you to bed. They're like, oh, they don't have time to be sitting up here having a relationship with you. They like, you cute, you pretty, you gonna come home with me tonight or not? That's the kind of attitude a lot of the men have. And so I don't have no delusions. It is what it is. But I'm fixing to go to bed, y'all. We have had a lively discussion tonight. And I I am going to go to bed, greet me something to eat. I got a little like they have Motley Crue pointing to women and being like, "Come on backstage." Yeah, it's locker room talk. Like it's the same thing that we hear, in. I mean, it's not as wild as the American music industry, but it's just men being men, and they're busy, they're in a hurry, they have tours and they have albums to make and promotions to do, and they don't have a lot of downtime. And so it's like I don't have time to be sitting here cultivating no damn relationship. Like like I don't have time to be sitting here cacao messaging you and taking you out. They don't have time for all that. It's like I'm gonna be on tour. I gotta do promotions. I gotta go record an album. I gotta do this. I don't have time to be sitting here whining down you and romancing, and then we gotta be secret. And so I can't tell everybody I'm even with you. So it's like, why would I put in a lot of effort into this connection when it's shrouded in secrecy? When nobody knows we're even together anyway. So that's why you see a lot of idols are with the same chicks off and on for 10, 12, 13 years, and then they finally get married. Because a lot of times these chicks, their parents don't even know they dating them. They bandmates don't even know they allegedly dating them. The girl thinks that she dating them, but they out with 2 or 3 different women, or they just don't take it like dating someone being serious, like we're in a serious committed relationship. It's hard to be in a committed relationship when you have to take everything so quietly, when you can't be out in a restaurant with the person that you love and you want to be with. That's a hard thing. It's a hard thing for another person to deal with. I'm going to be with you, but we can't be seen together. I can't tell anybody really about you, and you can't really tell anybody that we're together. I mean, like, what person in their right mind is like, I guess, like, okay. Like, and the first is fun. But then when months go by or years go by, you're like, okay, I'm just kind of like this hidden person in the background. Like, I don't want to do that. Like, I want us to have a normal, I want us to be able to go out and go to an amusement park together, go to a restaurant together. Like, who wants to be with somebody that you never can be seen with this person? That y'all don't, nobody knows y'all are really together. And then y'all can't go out as a normal couple. We can't go out and hold hands. We can't go to festivals together, especially living in South Korea, with such a sociable country. That I want to go to restaurants and festivals with you. I want to go and celebrate the Lunar New Year with you. I want to have couples anniversaries, but you can't really do that because y'all can't be seen together. So everything has to be done at home or in a private room or someplace secret. So that's a hard, bitter pill to swallow for somebody, especially somebody who is like, I have options. Like, I don't have to be with you. I can go be with another dude. And so it takes a real special person to be with an idol for years and years and years and years and just deal with the other women and the secrecy. And you like, there was some chick saying that she was dating a dude for 2, 3 years. She never even met his parents. Like, it took her 2, 3 years of them dating before he even introduced her to his parents. And that's a hard thing. It's a bitter pill to swallow in South Korea. Like, you're not introduced to their friends or their family members, because then somebody may out you. It's a lot. It would be something that I don't think I would be able to do. I don't think I would ever be able to date an idol, no matter how cool and cute and good looking and how much money they had. I don't think I could do it. So if y'all could do it, y'all are better than me, because I don't think I can run around in secrecy and not have and be lonely. It just seems very lonely to be time, and you can't go to places with them. Like, you can't even shop with, you can't go to the grocery store. And I'm the type of person, I like the mundane things. I like going with my man and let's go out, let's go work out, let's go take a hike, let's go shopping, let's go to the mall. Like, I'm the type of person that my love language is spending time with somebody. And so I would think it would drive me nuts, and I would feel some type of way knowing that I'm with somebody, but I can't be out with them. And I like to go out and I like to be active. So unless you're just a total homebody and you want to sit at home all the time, I guess that may work out. But for me, part of being in a relationship is you're sharing experiences together. And to be with an idol and knowing that you can't go anywhere really with this person, it has to be like always a sense of fear. Like, I don't want to be too close to this person. We can't really be together because it'll ruin his whole career. Y'all better than me. I ain't gonna be able to do it. But yeah, that's rough. You'd be in the same room, yeah. And then you see that, like, you see your friends getting married and having children and having relationships as you hit your 30s, and people dating and going out together and going on vacations together. And then here you are in love with this person, but then y'all can't do anything. And then your friends are like, oh, me and my fiance, we're going on vacation. And oh, we're going with jet skiing with his parents and his brothers and sisters. And you're just like, I guess he's gonna come off a tour and come see me. It's like, what? I couldn't do it. I couldn't do it either. I don't have that. I would just feel like it would be very lonely to be in that situation, and not like, I want a normal relationship. I don't want a hidden on the low relationship. It would feel like I was a side chick to the industry. It's like, here's my man. The main is the industry, and I'm pretty much, bitch, the side chick. I'm the side bitch in a three-way relationship. It's him, it's the industry, and then there's me. I would feel like I'm the third wheel to him being in the industry. That the industry is number one, and that I'm kind of like an afterthought. No matter how much he says he loves me and how we do video chat, still it's just the fact that I want to be out with this person and hold hands with this person and not feel like I'm the third wheel to the fucking industry. Like, the industry is the most important thing in his life. Like that, he has to be careful about his image and who he's seen with, and the management don't like it, and they may not like him dating, and then his family can't know. Like, I'll be like, no, I would want to be with somebody when I'm out and proud with them, and they are proud enough to be with me, and he claims me, and we're happy, and that's just it. So no, I could never date out it. As much as I like Sugar and everything, I could never date Sugar. Like, we would fight all the time. Like, we'd be busting heads. Cause I'm like, no, I'm not gonna do that. No, I'm not gonna do. Cause I'm too like, no. Like, no matter how much stuff he bought me and all the perks of being with an idol, and there's a lot of perks. I mean, he's gonna take care of you. He's gonna make sure you're good. But what's the point of having someone buy you things and talk to you and be there for you, and when you're really not really sharing a life with that person, you're just some blip and some aberration kind of over here in the background. And so I wouldn't feel like we were actually sharing a life together. I just feel like I was just like some downtime project whenever he's bored, or whenever he ain't got nothing to do, then he wants to show up at my house and lay up in my house and sleep together, and then he's gone again. Like, that to me, that's not a real relationship. That's me. But anyway, y'all, I'm finna go get me something to eat. I'm finna get me a midnight snack, y'all. And I'm finna watch me some TV, see what's going on in the news. Until next time, y'all, thank you guys for being here as always every Saturday. I appreciate you guys sticking with me for 4 damn hours while I talk about not a damn thing. But anyway, y'all. Until next week, y'all, I gotta finish packing. Bye, y'all. Packing.